It is a beautiful evening here at Cox Mill High School in Concord, North Carolina, as we get back to some SCBL action here as the Copperheads are hosting the non-conference away team, the Race City Bootleggers out of Mooresville, North Carolina. My name is David Katzenmeyer. Accompanying me today is Zane Metz, and it is a perfect night for some baseball. How are you feeling about it today, Zane?
You know, I'm super excited, but most of these guys that didn't go to the showcase are excited to step back on the field before SCBL play continues later this week.
Yeah, the SCBL participated in the Southeast Prospect Showcase up in Lynchburg, Virginia. I had the honor of going up there and being able to do some broadcasting for those streams, but glad to be back in Concord, North Carolina as the SCBL walked away 1-1. They lost to the Hamptons League in New York and beat the Sun Belt League out of Georgia, but a lot of these guys did not get to travel, so a lot of the guys and the faces in the field today will be getting some action before SCBL play resumes. One of those guys being our starting pitcher, number 20, Jake Shaw.
Yeah, Jacob Shaw, you know, he's had a good year. Didn't have a great appearance last time, but still solid stats. 12 and 1/3 innings pitched with a 5.83 ERA, 13 strikeouts, and 1 win and 1 loss on the year. All 4 appearances so far this year were in relief, so his first start of the season and his 5th appearance.
Yeah, man, number 3, Michael Carroll.
Michael Carroll gets things started for the Bootleggers here as he is playing in right field. The big righty sees the first pitch go by him, and that'll be a called strike. Behind the dish tonight for the Copperheads is Dario Astudillo, third base, Jaden Hackbarth. Next to him is Jake Tanner. Standing at second is Zach Will, and the big man down at first is number 26, Ivan Zambrano, and that lines out your infield for the Copperheads. Wilson Lower gets the start in left. Kyrus Dawson, the ever-so-speedy man on the base paths, gets the start in center. And the red-hot James Oman gets the start in right as we see a swing and a miss on an off-speed there from Carroll. And the count now moves 1-2.
Yeah, we see Shaw already feeling the off-speed very early on. That was a great pitch right there.
Astudillo sets on the outside part of the plate, and that one's going to be down in the dirt. So the count runs even at 2-2. As the Race City Bootleggers, like I said, out of Mooresville, North Carolina, they play their home games at Moore Park as well as the Spinners, as that ball is popped up over our heads, and the count will remain 2-2. But they just play indie ball, so they are not in a specific league, so they just play any team that wants to go ahead and schedule them. And they are technically 5-10-1 on the season. They did have a tie, so very unorthodox as a fastball rides in on Carroll, and he's worked the count to 3-2. But not too often you see a tie in baseball, especially in summer ball. So Shaw now had him 1-2, 2 straight balls, leads us to the full count pitch, and will not be called strike 3. Carroll will take 3 straight balls and take his base down at first. That looked like it had a chance to catch the top part of the zone. However, no appeal from Shaw or Astudillo as Carroll takes first. And next up, stepping into the box is the left fielder, Hunter Sherrill. So interesting seeing the Bootleggers going with the right fielder and then the left fielder. Not too often you see the fielders starting off the order. However, got some good barrels in the third base dugout for the Bootleggers, and they have faith in their corner outfielders. First pitch that goes by our new batter, Sherrill, is a strike. So now 0-1 as Shaw works with a man on first. He'll check back over. Now he'll set. Glove at the shoulders. Runner will go. Astudillo's throw is way high. It'll be cut off by Jake Tanner, who had to come flying over from the shortstop position, and even he couldn't glove it. So the Copperheads lucky that Carroll was still down in the dirt trying to recollect himself, brushing the dirt off of him, or else he would have had third pretty easily. Dawson would have had a chance to gun him down, but with how hard that ball was thrown, it would have been very tough to get him at third. But nevertheless, it'll go as a stolen bag in the books for Carroll. Runner will not advance on a throwing error by the catcher. So now we will resume this at bat. Stick showing on the scoreboard as the third pitch is delivered, and it's a swinging strike on an off-speed.
Yeah, I'm super interested to see how some of these guys play. Most of these guys, their first game since that doubleheader on Saturday where they split the series 1-1 to Kingsman. So, you know, some of these guys, their first appearance in a couple days.
The 1-2 on its way. That one is flared, chasing back on into Zambrano, and a little bit of miscommunication there, but Ivan Zambrano comes over to make the play. So Sherrill will be retired, and that now brings up the shortstop, Aiden Evans.
Yeah, Zambrano normally in the outfield so far this season, but manager Sean Stevens giving him a chance at first, and so far so good. Almost a little hiccup there, but he called Zach Will off for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, just
first.
Tiny little bit of miscommunication, but
yeah,
able to work around it. So now one away. Runner Carroll still standing on second, and the first pitch to Evans is a swing at a ball outside, 0-1. So Evans getting the nod at shortstop for the Race City Bootleggers. The right-hander check swings, and it will be a called strike. Count now moves quickly to 0-2. Shaw looking to find his second out of the inning as he hopes to strand Carroll standing down on second.
Yeah, Shaw walked that first batter of the inning, but so far after that, it's been throwing strikes in there, making hitters swing at it.
And while it was a walk, all of the balls that were deemed balls did not miss the zone by much. The 0-2 is put into play. Tracing over is Tanner. He will fire to first. It'll be a pick from Zambrano. And the play cannot be made. Zambrano could not come up with the pick. So Carroll advances over to third base. And we will see what they rule in the books, whether it's an infield single or an error. But either way, Aiden Evans finds himself standing on base. It was a tough play for Jake Tanner as it was a slow roller through the infield. And Aiden Evans just had a lot of speed to dig it out down to first. So either way, runner standing on the corner is in a big situation for the catcher, Jake Gorman.
And this is just so hard to feel from the shortstop and the first baseman right there. Those little slow rollers, you never know where they're going to go.
Another first pitch strike is fired by Shaw. So now back ahead in this count, 0-1. He's had the lead in every single count so far today. He was 1-2 on Carroll before the walk. However, he stands down on third. Big look over to first base as he sends his attention back to home. They'll fire and looking to catch the runner in a bit of a pickle. Zambrano's trying to run him down, and the tag at second will be in time. That'll be the second out of the inning. So the infield single is wiped off the board as now just one runner. Or the runner did he score?
Yeah, he
did score. I was so focused over on the action that the runner does score.
And you have to imagine if you're Ray City right there, you're taken out for a run.
Oh, absolutely, to get this thing started. Yeah. That's my apologies. I was so focused on the play going on, I didn't even see the runner come across. Check swing, and he did go around. So now with two away, count sits at 0-1 or 0-2.
I don't even know. It looked like almost he was trying to get himself into a pickle to have that situation right there. He didn't even try to attempt to go back to first.
Either way, it works out in favor for the Bootleggers as the 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. So the pickle opportunity actually drives in the run. If it would have not happened, there still would be a man stranded out on third base. Either way, the Bootleggers get one in the top of the first. We'll be right back for the bottom of the frame as the Copperheads have Kyrus Dawson, Will Lower, and Jaden Hackbarth due up here at Cox Mill High School. Welcome back to Cox Mill High School as we get ready to get things started in the bottom of the first inning. Our leadoff batter will be the center fielder, Kyrus Dawson, and pitching for the Ray City Bootleggers will be number 1, Christian Keel.
Yeah, and you mentioned last inning, Kyrus Dawson ever so speedy. 8 stolen bases so far in the year with a .222 average. Had 3 stolen bases in one game on June 20th against the Vipers.
So the quick right-hander will dig into the box to face Keel for the first time. Garrett Brower stands down at third. The shortstop, Aiden Evans. The second baseman, Landon Reeves, and the first baseman, Brandon Johnson, line out the infield for the Bootleggers. Getting the nod tonight behind the dish is number 28, Jake Gorman. Second pitch now to Dawson is a breaking pitch too far, as the count now moves to 1-1.
I'm surprised manager Sean Stevens hasn't given Dawson that bunt sign yet. Third baseman just playing normal, so a lot of room to lay one down that third base side.
We'll see what he does with sticks on the board here, as the delivery home is too far down in the dirt, so the count moves in favor of Dawson at 2-1. Standing on deck is the left fielder, Wilson Lohr, getting the start in left field. As that one's going to be put into the left center gap. It will get down. Hopping all the way to the wall is Dawson. And that will be a stand-up double for Kyrus Dawson. Dallas Allen, the center fielder, had to run back. Couldn't really get to it, just had to field it off the wall. And Dawson, with his speed, easily in at second. So a big first hit for the Lake Norman Copperheads as the left fielder Wilson Lohr stands in.
Yeah, and a great job by Dawson right there, just getting ahead of the count, seeing a pitch he likes, and just driving into that left center field gap. And that's something to start off your night right there for the Copperheads. A speedy man on second base and very easily could get around the bases.
Looking to even the scoreboard as the Bootleggers brought across one in the top half of the frame. Lohr shows bunt, and it's a very good bunt. Charging down to first, and no throw. Throw will be not in time. Almost looked like he wasn't going to throw for a second. He was guarded by the pole. Couldn't see if it left his hand, but either way, safe down at first is Wilson Lohr with a bunt.
And what a great job by Lohr right there, seeing the situation, advancing. Now runners on the corners, only 1 stolen base of the year, but he showed the speed right there and getting down the first base side quick, and now that sets up a big opportunity for Jaden Hackbarth. Hackbarth with a great year so far, third in the SCBL in home runs.
Hackbarth getting the nod at third base, as the first delivery is an off-speed from Keel that's fouled down the third base line. Keel leads the count 0-1.
Hackbarth with a .321 average, 9 hits, 4 RBIs, and 2 home runs, and a good chance to add to the RBI tally right here.
We saw his first time pitching a couple games ago when we were out here at Cox Mill High School. If you haven't checked out that VOD, it's available against the Owls. Runner will go, and the throw's going to be high. Coming in to score easily is Dawson. Going from second to third is Lohr. And so the Copperheads tie this one on a throwing error from Jake Gorman, as both catchers have now sailed the shortstops, trying to tag out the stealing runner.
And I'm very surprised to see him throw that down to second right there. You think he would keep it in the palm of his hand or just throw it right back to the pitcher with a runner on third.
Called strike on the outside corner from Keel. So now the count moves to 1-2. Long look in, quick check to the runner at third, and now delivering home. Ball's going to get away from Gorman, but not far enough for Lohr to bite. So count now moves even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Copperhead's a great start to the game right here, and we'll see if they can get another run on the board right here with the runner on third. No outs.
Lohr standing 90 feet away. Keel's delivery on the 2-2 is to the backstop. He's going to come in to score easily. So both runners for the Copperheads come across on that one, a pass ball, and then an error on Gorman. So he has not had a too favorable start to his night. So the Copperheads clear the base pass. They now lead it 2-1. as Hackbarth has watched 2 runners go by him before he's left the batter's box. Full count pitch from Keel. Down and away. So Jaden Hackbarth will take his base at first for the catcher, Dario Astudillo.
And Astudillo is great at what Hackbarth just did right there, is drawing walks, 7 walks, and only 6 plate appearances, so more walks than at-bats so far this season. But in those 6 at-bats, a .333 average, 2 hits, 1 RBI.
How does that work?
Well, you'd have 11 plate appearance, 13 plate appearances, but only 6 at-bats because all those walks.
First pitch he sees is a called strike on the outside corner.
I got to get that man's OBP because it must be through the roof.
Astudillo now down 0-1. Keel delivers from shoulder height. Runner will go. Better throw this time and will be safe standing down at second. So Hackbarth has himself a stolen base. Tag was just too late from the second baseman, Landon Reeves, as it was very, very close.
And a much better throw from the Bootleggers catcher right there, Jake Gorman.
Now the 1-1, too far down low. Mid-80s here in Concord. It's supposed to drift down to around 75 when the sun goes down. So the temperature very, very nice right now as we're getting a break from the heat. Breaking pitch misses outside for Keel. It stands up Gorman. And now hitters count 3-1.
That's what we've seen from the Copperheads all night tonight. Just being patient, waiting for their pitch, and be able to drive on the ball. Like earlier in the inning, we saw Kyrus Dawson, get ahead in the count 3-1 and drive on a pitch, and now we see a little mound visit. Out full.
Astudillo laid off that one. That was a borderline pitch. So we will have a mound meeting between Keel and Gorman. Fun fact about Gorman is he went to Huff High School, which is right around the corner here. It's where the Copperheads had called home for a couple years before moving over to Cox Mill High School during field renovations.
Lake Norman also has a catcher on their roster that went to Huff High School, that being Andrew Schultz.
If you're talking about Lake Norman guys, take a look at the left fielder Hunter Sherrill as well.
Yeah.
So filled with local talent here in this game. The full count pitch home to Astudillo, and it's too far down low. So Astudillo will take his base. Runners on first and second, and still no outs in the inning for the first baseman, Ivan Zambrano.
Now batting the first baseman, number 26.
Yeah, Ivan Zambrano started off the year super hot, 4 RBIs in his first 3 games. Cooled down ever since 19 ABs with a 105 average. But a great chance here to lift up that average against a struggling pitcher so far tonight for Ray City.
So a pinch runner for the catcher down at first. It'll be Wilson Lohr. As if he didn't get enough time on the base path the first time around, they'll send him back out. First pitch swinging for Zambrano, and that's a single into center field. Hackbarth will round third, and he will be safe at home as the throw heads over to Garrett Brower. As the Copperheads with another run here in the first. They now lead it 3-1 on the RBI single from Ivan Zambrano.
That's what Zambrano just needed right there. Struggling as of late, but get that single, and hopefully you can get a little streak started here in this game and continuing into the weekend.
So the Copperheads now with 3 hits here in this first inning, accounting for 3 runs, as the shortstop Jake Tanner looks to keep the rally going with runners on first and second. Keel delivers home, and a breaking pitch slides a little bit too much. So count moves 1-0.
Yeah, Tanner's been red hot this year with a .421 average, 8 hits, 1 home run, 5 RBIs, and a couple games ago he had a 3-hit, 4 RBI game against the Concord A's.
Keel looks back. Now he'll deliver. Similar pitch there, missing on the outside part of the plate. That's been where most of his misses have been so far in this inning. He hasn't missed too much in on righties, but he's just trying to work the outside part of the zone, especially with how some of these Copperheads crowd the plate. So Tanner, not really one of those guys. He stands pretty central in the box, but still trying to locate on the outside part of the plate as he tries to there. And that one misses a little bit too low for the umpire's liking, and 3 straight balls leads to a 3-0 count.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of these counts. They've been able to get, 3-2 counts, 2-2 counts, but that one elusive last strike he hasn't been able to get tonight.
Got a base open. The 3-0 is a cold strike. So Keel gets 1 on the board. As just trying to get out of this inning. Still nobody away for the Copperheads, and they've already brought across 3. Some action in the bullpen for the Bootleggers. As Keel's struggling here, he'll step off. So we'll reset and we'll try the 3-1. Holds that glove at chest height. Now he'll deliver, and that's going to be a cold strike.
Ooh.
And our umpire takes a second to call it, and
Yeah.
Tanner thought that he had a walk, so he had already thrown the bat. He was walking down to first, and our umpire said, "Nuh-uh, get back here."
Yeah, warming up in that Ray City bullpen is Trey Hillman, number 33.
So the Bootleggers hoping that Keel can stay out there and get out of this one, but if he can't, they have a guy warming up. And just foul down the third base line. That needed to be 2 feet over, and that was an easy double out to the wall and left. However, those few feet make a big difference as it remains foul, and the count now moves to 3-2. Wind blowing out here on this evening as we see the American flag behind left field waving just off your screen, but giving a good wave, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. So anybody hitting towards left has a bit of an advantage, and that's a for sure ball 4. So Tanner has himself a walk either way, and the bases are now loaded for the designated hitter, Connor Pfizer.
Yeah, I had to make sure that he had ball 4 right there, just staying in the box extra long to make sure. As we do see a mound visit for Ray City. Coming up for the Copperheads is the West Virginia State upcoming senior Connor Pfizer. 9 ABs on the year with a .333 average, 3 hits and 4 runs, as we do see that man warming up in the bullpen, but I feel like Ray City's going to keep their pitcher in the game here.
Yeah, they do not have a permanent catcher out there, just a position player catching for him with no padding or anything on. So
Yeah.
we'll probably look to see Christian Keel stay in the game here.
Yeah, they are somewhat limited in pitchers tonight. Only 4 available besides the man who's on the mound right now. And only one other person in the dugout, position player-wise, to maybe come in later in the game, if depending on the score.
Guzman bringing out a couple balls for our home plate umpire as we get ready to get back to the action. As Pfizer gets his walk-up song played twice now.
Yeah.
So he should be extra ready for this at-bat. Keel's first pitch is in a great location as that one goes for strike 1, catching the top outside part of the zone. So 0-1, and Gorman with a fancy move to have to stop that one. Fantastic job by the Huff alumni.
A great move right there. That was like a dance move right there.
He had to shade out of his position and
Yeah.
throw his whole body at that one. So the 1-1 is swung on and missed. A little bit behind it was Pfizer, and now for the first time tonight, Keel has a guy down 1-2. Looking for that first out. Bases loaded right now for the Copperheads. And called strike 3, catching the bottom outer part of the plate. So Pfizer will strike out, and he will account for the first out of the inning as the extra hitter, Robbie Brown, now due up.
That's what Keel needed tonight right there. He's been able to get guys to 2 strikes and finally close a guy out. And now Robbie Brown steps up to the plate for the Copperheads. Brown so far this year, 17 at-bats with a .118 average, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. As we have bases loaded, and that one will be low and outside for ball 1.
So the double play ball is live here to get out of the inning for the Bootleggers. If it were to be put in the right position, that ball missing outside. Now the count at 1-1. check swing he went around, says our home plate umpire, and now another count quickly to 1-2. So looks like all Keel needed was a bit of talking to, recollect his mind state. And now the 1-2 is, or that'll now be 2-2, excuse me. So it looks like there was no swing on the previous pitch, so the count now moves 2-2. Keel going to take his time, recollect himself, and that's going to be a balk. A balk is issued, and a run comes in to score. So the pinch runner, Lore, now gets back to the dugout. Runners now stand on second and third, and now the Copperheads lead it 4-1 with only one out in the inning. Breaking pitches tapped very lightly into foul territory.
That was a really good breaking pitch right there. Just good to spit on that and hopefully get another pitch they can hit.
Brown just lackadaisically smacked it down into foul territory, making sure that wasn't going to catch the top part of the zone. We'll try the 2-2 one more time, and that one just a little bit high. So count runs full. There is an open bag now, but you definitely don't want to put him there. Got to get this guy away with only one out. Brown readies and Keel delivers, and swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Christian Keel as he has sat down back-to-back batters now with the K.
Yeah, Keel looking like he's getting back on track tonight after a shaky start to the start of the game. All he needs is just his manager to have a little talk with him, and looking good ever since.
So Zach Will, who's starting at second base tonight for the Copperheads, is up as he steps in to the righty's batter box, and a fastball misses inside on him. It's really the first fastball that we've seen that's ran really inside on the righties. So Keel messing around with his spots a little bit. Will calls time, and now he'll recollect himself and dig back in. Sign given from Gorman. The nod from Keel and the delivery. Thought about swinging, but it'll go as a strike either way, as his location on the outer part of the plate in the last three at-bats have been fantastic. Keel trying to leave runners on here as the Copperheads have already brought four across in the bottom of the first. And that ball's going to miss high. Count now stands 2-1.
Yeah, we've seen Keel at the beginning of the game missing on the outside part of the plate, now reining in a little bit and pounding that outside edge very nicely.
He's been able to spot it pretty much anywhere he wants, as that one's just a little bit too far, but that's not a miss we've seen in the last three ABs. So now count 3-1. First base is open. The 3-1. And they say he did go around, so now the count moves full with two away on Zach Will. Kyle Whitaker is standing down there on third with our first base coach doing a little bit of filming for us with the GoPro out there. As a swing and a miss, dropped third strike. Nope, they'll say he catches it. And 3 straight Ks to get out of the inning for Christian Keel. What a performance from him to bring it back after giving up a few. So if Keel comes back in the next inning, he's going to be riding those 3 straight Ks, as the extra hitter Luke Holland is up for the Race City Bootleggers when we come back for the top of the second inning here from Cox Mill High School on the SCBL YouTube channel. Welcome back for the top of the second inning as the extra hitter Luke Holland is due up for the Race City Bootleggers. They got one in the top of the frame as a couple guys got on via the walk and a reach by error and were able to make their way around the base path to score. So an interesting way that it scored. There was a pickle opportunity, and the runner standing on third took advantage of the nearsightedness by first baseman Ivan Zambrano as he was zoned in on the runner moving from first to second that they were able to take home.
Yeah, almost like he had like horse blinders on. He didn't even look over at the runner at third. He was so focused on that guy on first base, but he eventually got the guy out.
Well, and at the same time, even if you are aware that the runner is going, making the out is the most important thing in that scenario. If you try to throw home and you miss, then all of a sudden you've got a guy home and a man standing on second with only one away, and instead you give up a run, but you get that all-important second out. So Shaw now delivered 3 straight balls, has not given up a hit yet, as the Bootleggers have had a walk, a pop-out, a reach-on error, and a strikeout.
Well, in the end, it worked out good for the Copperheads because they got 4 in the bottom of the first. So if it's a 1-0 ball game, it's way different than we're looking at that situation than a 4-1 ball game.
Absolutely. And that one misses on the outside part of the plate. Took a second for everybody to react, but our home plate umpire says it is a little too far outside. So a 4-pitch walk from Jake Shaw as Luke Holland takes base, and Shaw repeats how he started the top of the first with a leadoff walk. Bailey Faircloth, the designated hitter, now up for the Bootleggers. Hard nod in from Shaw, and another pitch misses. Never seen a game here at Cox Mill High School. Pretty short porch. Only 315 to the corners, 355 to dead center. Next pitch is high, and that's now 6 straight. So Shaw struggling to find the zone. Some of these pitches haven't missed by much.
And we see Shaw did the same thing in the first inning, walked that first batter, but eventually got the first out of the inning. And on the second batter, as the runner will go, has to do the throw down, will not be in time. And the count moved to 3-0.
So standing in safe will be Holland at second. Now a runner in scoring position with nobody away here for the Bootleggers. So a very good opportunity now as the Bootleggers with that navy blue with the light gold stripe, as that will be called a strike, his first one of the inning. Count now sits at 3-1. Copperheads in all white with the red numbers and the black accents. And a nice frame job from Astadio. So go ahead and pull that one off the outside part of the plate. So back-to-back strikes now for Shaw as he looks to get his first out of the inning. The full count pitch is hit hard but foul, as that one would have been close to getting out if it would have stayed fair. It'll bounce down next to some of the staff's cars next to the football field down there. But either way, count remains 3-2, so a long, loud foul ball.
A couple people in the stadium holding their breath where that ball was going to go.
And that pitch too far up. So back-to-back walks now as Faircloth takes first. Holland stolen base. Doesn't mean too much. You see now still stands on second. And we're going to have a mound meeting as manager Sean Stevens comes out to have a word with his starting pitcher.
Yeah, no activity in the late number bullpen, just a short chat, make sure everybody's on the same page, walking those 2 straight batters, but I got very close right there, only a couple centimeters away from being strike 3.
A big swing of the bat from the second baseman, Landon Reeves, is all the Bootleggers need to knot this one at 4. As runners stand on first and second for number 46.
And I'll be very interested to see what pitchers the late number Copperheads have tonight. You have guys like Ian Askin, Phoenix Jacome, Anthony Casiola that went to that showcase like you were talking about earlier. So only a couple guys in that pitching rotation that ain't going, maybe available tonight, as we do see Grayson Barger over there doing some arm care with the band.
It's very possible that Barger comes into this game. He has not pitched since the second game against the Kingsmen on Saturday. So first pitch goes for a ball. Tanner now working out of the stretch, taking a little more time. And that one is too high, pops out of the glove of Astudillo. And we'll get a quick time here as Astudillo is going to head back over to the dugout. Looks like he's going to get a new glove. Or they're at least doing some maintenance on his glove.
Very interesting right there.
He's going to switch out the gloves, as that's the second ball in the last two at-bats that have popped away from him. So got a slick black glove with the white lacings. Looks like a nice Rawlings glove.
Well, we saw a couple nights ago Vladimir Guerrero Jr. over there at first base. A bullet across the infield went right through his glove in the pocket.
Mm-hmm. Hey, there's wearing in your glove, and then there's that.
Yeah.
Shaw got to collect himself here. Sitting 3-0 on the shortstop. As the fourth pitch to Reeves will be a ball down low. So the bases are loaded for the Bootleggers as the center fielder, Dallas Allen, now up to the plate.
Very interesting. He's had that control in the first inning, but just hasn't been able to find it since here. 3 straight walks. Had the last guy on a 3-2 count, and then 4 straight balls right there.
Now batting the center fielder, number 16, Dallas Allen.
And his start tonight from Shaw was a no-doubter from the coaching staff as they were discussing what they were going to do for this game on the bus ride home, and it was a no-doubter that Shaw would get the start. This is going to be a fly-out to right field. Omen has it. Runner will tag. His throw will be cut off, and the runner will score. Moving over to third is Faircloth, and coming in is Luke Holland. So the first out of the inning is recorded as the Bootleggers get one across, and they cut the score in half as they're now only down by 2.
And that's one of those situations, again, you'll take that out for that run like they did in the first inning. And now Brendan Johnson will step up to the plate, and you can obviously see why he's playing first base, a very big man that can get a hold of a baseball.
Brandon Johnson batting in that 9-hole. Both teams electing to use the extra hitter tonight. As we see the first pitch to Johnson, instead it'll be a throwback. Making sure to check the runner, Allen, down at first as second base is unoccupied.
Yeah, the decision to use the EH for the Copperheads was very surprising for everybody here up in the press box. First time this season that we've seen manager Stevens use that.
First home game for sure.
Yeah.
That we've seen him use that, but makes sense as he's still trying to find his finite lineup, especially with a couple games this week, trying to find the most valuable guys in the field. The 1-0 from Shaw. Runner goes. Astudillo will not throw down. Shaw showing his frustration.
And Stevens has just such big decisions to make as we see through this infield and outfield. These guys with such great averages. One thing I did see on his Twitter is that college coaches won't play you unless that you're very good defensively. He retweeted, and I think that's something that shows in his lineup day in and day out this season.
Shaw misses high there. Now the count runs 3-0. It's been two sides of a coin for Jacob Shaw between the first inning and this one. He delivers the 3-0, and that's an off-speed that catches the heart of the zone. So finds himself the 3-1 as he had a feeling Johnson would be laying off of it. And that's a pitch that even at 3-0, I don't know if I would let go by me. Big swing on the 3-1, very similar zone. Johnson got a piece of it, but ends up in the glove of Dario Astudillo. So from 3-0 to 3-2, the payoff pitch from Shaw. Swing and a miss as he finds the second out in the form of a K as Brandon Johnson will head back to the dugout in frustration. As now that brings up the 10-hole hitter, Garrett Brower. Brower trying to bring his teammates in as they both stand on second and third. First pitch is a ball down in the dirt, but chasing was Brower, so the count now 0-1. Long look in for Shaw. He'll shake off a couple of Astudillo's pitches before finally agreeing on one. That one is slapped down the first base side, just foul. Very late on it was Brower, and he finds himself in a hole 0-2 now with 2 away.
Yeah, we've seen Jacob Shaw just simplifying things these last 5 straight strikes, just trying to keep it simple, and it's been working.
Tying run standing out on second base. Will Brower be able to give these guys an opportunity to score? The 0-2 from Shaw. Called strike 3, catches a piece of the outside corner, and Shaw ends the inning with back-to-back Ks. Finds some stuff to get out of the inning, stranding 2. The Bootleggers bring across 1 as they had bases loaded with only 1 out. And getting out of the inning is Jacob Shaw. Due up for the Copperheads in the bottom half of the frame. The 10-hitter, 1 and 2, as James Oman will lead things off when we come back from Cox Mill High School.
Leading off for Lake Norman, the right fielder, number 2, James Oman.
Leading things off for the Copperheads in the bottom half of the second inning is the right fielder, James Oman, as he swings at a first pitch. It'll go foul down the first base line and just out of play over the screen. Oman, a guy to watch as he has been hot recently with the bat. As he's gotten things going here, as he did last Friday and Saturday, having multiple hit games. Watches a breaking pitch miss on the outside part of the plate. Count now sits 1-1. As Christian Keel back out there for his second inning of work.
Yeah, Owen very hot, as you said, a 348 average, 8 hits, 6 runs, 8 stolen bases. We see that one fouled off into the screen, and had 2 doubles against Statesville Owls only a couple nights ago.
So James Oman was a guy, it was a tough decision not to bring him to the showcase, as he's fighting to show this coaching staff what he can do. He fouled off the first 1-2. Now they'll try it again, and they'll say it's a foul tip, called strike 3. So quickly 1 away as Keel keeps the strikeouts going, now 4 straight.
Phoenix DeGiacomo, like how many strikeouts he's having tonight, back to back to back.
He's found something, and that mound meeting did heaps for the big right-hander on the mound. As the top of the order will come back around, the center fielder, Kyrus Dawson, will see Keel for the second time. Dawson swings through that one as it pops out of the glove of Gorman. Had a double to the left center gap his first time up, as that one rolled all the way to the wall, so he went standing. Ended up being the first of 4 runs scored by Lake Norman in the top or the bottom of the first. So shadow starting to shade here over the field at Cox Mill as the sun starts to go behind the school that sits on the hill to our left. 0-1 from Keel, misses outside. So now even at 1-1. Nobody on with one out here for the Copperheads. As Keel delivers the 1-1 and a safety swing there from Dawson as he saw that breaking pitch start to move over, but by the time he tried to get a barrel on it, it was a little bit too late. And Keel 1 strike away from his 5th straight strikeout. That one misses on the outside part of the plate. Gorman has to shift his body to make sure he can get the glove over there. And the count now sits 2-2. And that one's put into play down the left field line. Will it be fair? It will just sneak foul. As it's so tough to see from our angle with the dugout blocking the foul line down the left field side, but that couldn't have been fouled by much. It looked like it was pretty good off the bat of Dawson.
Yeah, oh, trust me, it's hard to see down there. Last game I called a home run, and I thought it was, and it just missed over the wall, and that third base dugout was blocking my view.
Had a couple parents down there who were like, "Say, what is Zane doing?
Yeah.
What is he talking about? That was caught."
Yeah, Reese was doing the same thing right beside me.
We'll try the 2-2 one more time. Dawson fouls that one off to stay alive. Standing on deck for the Copperheads is the left fielder Wilson Lohr. He's had a good bit of action on the base path tonight. Not only did he score a run for himself getting on base, but he was a pinch runner that ended up scoring as well. Another breaking pitch that Dawson fouls off to stay alive, is trying not to go down looking, as Keel has been excellent in his location on the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, Dawson just keeps fighting off these pitches and just trying to stay alive here. Here comes the 2-2 pitch.
2-2 is swung on and missed. 5 straight Ks for the right-hander, as Keel is feeling something else here with these last 5 batters.
And I don't know what the manager said in that mound visit, but I'd like to know because he's been on ever since.
I need to know what he said, because I need that kind of motivation in my life.
Yeah?
That's the kind of stuff that gets you out of bed in the morning.
Yeah. Me and you'd be calling it like a World Series Game 7 up here if we knew.
So with 2 away, the left-hander Wilson Lohr will dig in for Lake Norman. Had a single in his first at-bat. As Keel looks to keep his dominance rolling. He'll get the sign from Gorman. Gives the nod, and now the pitch. As that goes 5-hole on Gorman, it'll head to the backstop and be the first ball of the at-bat. Decent crowd out here tonight at Cox Mill High School. Around 30-40 strong. As that pitch did miss by much on the outside, but with where Gorman was set up, he had to twist his body to catch it, so no chance of a frame job. So what could have possibly gone for a strike against our right-hander is a ball against our big lefty.
Yeah, I've put a pretty decent crowd all year. Really good last weekend as that one almost runs up and gets them. But a lot of kids out there last weekend on doubleheader on Saturday and then Friday night against Statesville.
Lohr seems like his timing and delivery is a little bit off-kilter with the left-hander standing in. He'll fire the 3-0, and that'll go for his strike, so he'll get his first strike of the at-bat. As he'll look in to see what Gorman wants for the 3-1. They'll work very quickly back to the plate, and that's going to be ball 4. So a base runner will reach for the Copperheads in the bottom of the second. As Jaden Hackbarth now up for Lake Norman.
The third baseman, number 10, Jaden Hackbarth.
And we did see Wilson Lohr take a bag last time, so that's something to look out for. Trying to get in scoring position for Hackbarth.
And Keel knows it as well. Lohr almost overran the bag there. Was fighting to
stay on the
make
bag.
sure his foot stayed on. He'll get a big league as this will be a pop-up into shallow right. Coming on to make the long run in the play is the second baseman, Landon Reeves, as he had a mile to go out there, but makes the play over his shoulder, and that will be the third out of the inning. Nobody comes across for the Copperheads, but they still lead it 4-2, as we will see what the Bootleggers can do in the top half of the third when we come back here from Cox Mill High School on the SCBL YouTube channel. Jake Shaw is back out for his third inning of work as the Bootleggers come to bat in the top of the third inning. It'll be the top of the order as the right fielder Michael Carroll will dig in, and that one slips away from Astudillo on the first pitch of the inning. Carroll in his last at-bat started the day with a walk, ultimately was the run that scored in the first inning. So he accounts for one of the two runs put up by the Bootleggers so far. Shaw misses high with the 1-0. So now two straight balls. He doesn't like the baseball, so he'll get a new one. As with how superstitious some of these guys are and with the way that they like to play, if one thing is off, then it can be a very disrupting feeling. As with the new baseball, Shaw gets a strike.
I think it was the baseball, not Shaw, maybe.
Always blame it on the equipment, right?
Yeah.
The 2-1. Just a bit too high as Astudillo couldn't bring it down in the zone. So favorable hitters count here for Carroll, as Shaw will deliver the 3-1. Fouled down the first base side. Had some spin on it. Tried to get back into fair territory, but will roll out straight as it's fielded by Zambrano. He'll throw it back in. Shaw will get a new baseball. So still looking for time here as the umpire will reload on some baseballs. And I was talking with Phoenix DiGiacomo over this trip and kind of asked him about his last outing against the Kingsmen, where he only pitched one inning. Kind of what he was feeling, not really feeling his stuff that night, as we see a walk to Carroll. So back-to-back walks for Carroll in this one. We'll see if he can account for another run, as he hopes to, with the left fielder Hunter Sherrill up to bat. But like I was saying, Zane, I was talking with DeGiacomo, and he was kind of saying that he didn't really feel it as much as he did other nights, but at the same time, because we had already played one game, the mound wasn't as tall as it normally was, as we see a left field ball go foul. So just a little too early on it was Sherrill. But he was saying that because we'd already played a game and the mound was almost like a bit of a hole, so he couldn't kind of find a rhythm, couldn't find his footing, and that really played into his mentality on the mound. So these guys, when something is different from your routine, especially when you're doing something at a high level, it can really mess with your head and really get to you, even if it's just something, just a small tweak that's made. That's why if you ever talk to any of these major league players who have rain delays, especially starting pitchers, they hate it because it throws off their normal routine.
Yeah, that's funny. When we were talking to Anthony Casiola off the air when he came up here to do that interview, he was talking to us about how bad the mound was, especially in the second game. And that's what's going to happen when it's wore down 14 innings of baseball. It's going to happen no matter what type of equipment or dirt you have out there.
When you got 6 hours of baseball, that's what's going to happen. Double play ball possible here. Tanner does not go to second. He will go to first, and there will be an out at first as Sherrill couldn't beat it out. Carroll will advance to second base. So a runner in scoring position with one away here for the Bootleggers.
And that was a very similar ball that Jake Tanner had to feel right there from first time from Aiden Evans, who's now up to bat. And just that slow roller, body a little off balance, but a much better throw there than he did the first time.
Nice breaking pitch that catches the inside part of the plate for strike one. Evans reached on an error in his previous at-bat as Tanner couldn't fire him out at first base, as the shortstop showed exceptional speed. The 0-1 is a ball on the outside part of the plate that slapped foul and will roll out next to the Copperheads dugout. And now quickly Shaw is ahead 0-2.
We do apologize for the camera outage as of right now. The battery went out, so we're trying to change that really quick and quicker than usual tonight.
It's a gamble. Yeah. It's a gamble with these batteries, man. Some of them will last 6 innings. The others will go 1. We'll change them, and then all of a sudden it dies on us. So we'll bring it to you radio style from here. The 0-2 as Astudillo has to slide out next to the lefty's batter box to plug that one up from getting to the backstop. So the first ball of the at-bat will be accounted for as Shaw now looks in for the 1-2. Runner standing on second base. The 1-2 from Shaw, swing and a miss on a high fastball as Evans goes chasing. And Shaw has himself his fourth K, of the night.
Yeah, catcher number 28, Jake Gorman.
So the catcher, Jake Gorman, was a strikeout victim in his first appearance. Played for nearby Huff High School. As the first pitch he sees is an off-speed check swing. He did go around. So if he didn't, it would have been too low as Astudillo tried to frame it the best he could, but either way, goes for a strike.
Yeah, and Huff always rolling out talent. All the guys in this SCBL that went to Huff, as we see him going around once again, and the count goes down to a lot of guys on the Copperheads, and you have J.D. Brock over there at the Spinners, and a lot of other guys on probably a Huff guy on every team here in the SCBL.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Another big check swing there from Gorman, now down 0-2. Swing and a miss, 3 straight strikes delivered by Shaw as he struts off the mound with a little bit of swagger as leaves a man on. As the Bootleggers don't have any cross for the first time in this one. We will see what the Copperheads can do in the bottom half of the frame as we see Christian Keel come back out for his 3rd inning of work for the Bootleggers, as we'll be right back here from Cox Mill High School. We are back here from Cox Mill High School as we see Christian Keel back out for his third inning of work. Keel was wheeling and dealing in the previous inning as he had a streak of 5 straight strikeouts. So he'll look to continue that success into the bottom half of the third. So we'll have time called at the plate. Shadows pretty much fully engulfing the field now. Wind starting to die down just a bit as the temperature starts to fall, and that ball misses just a bit too outside, so 2-0 is the count. So the 2-ball pitch is that one accounts for a strike. So now Keel's count on Dario Astudillo moves to 2-1. Swing and a miss. Nice fastball located on the bottom part of the zone moves the count even at 2-2. And Astudillo hopes not to fall victim and become the 5th strikeout for Keel, but that one is a little bit too low. Down in the dirt as Gorman had to pick it up.
Yeah, and as you're saying earlier, great night here. A little more wind would be nice, but everything other than that, you can't complain about.
No, not at all. It's been a fantastic night.
Every game this season has been fantastic, as that is swinging a miss from Astudillo for the first out of the inning, and Keel adds to a strikeout tally. But as I was saying, every game so far this year at Cox Mill has been a beautiful night for baseball. No rainy nights. I don't think we've had one drop of rain so far this year here at a Lake Norman home game. And hopefully I don't curse us for the game coming up this Saturday night against the Carolina Vipers. That one, a big swing and a miss from Ivan Zambrino, the first baseman tonight for Lake Norman. Count goes to 0-1. That one in the dirt. Count evens up at 1-1. And like I was saying, next game here at Cox Mill High School will be July 2nd against the Carolina Vipers. That one coming to you on a Saturday night. So a good way to start off your 4th of July weekend right there. An extra long weekend that everybody will have.
And that pitch just catching the edge of the zone. That is where Keel has been so successful, especially in getting those strikeouts as he looks to make Ivan Zambrano the 7th. Zambrano thought about it, but watches it drifted just a bit too low. So a 2-2 count now, one away, nobody on for the Copperheads. They struck often and early in the first inning, putting up 4 as Zambrano stays alive. But they struck often in the first inning, and Keel ended up sitting the last 2 batters down via the strikeout. He continued that streak into the second, counting for 5 strikeouts in a row. So now Keel sits with the first baseman Zambrano on a 2-2 count on a beautiful night here in Concord, North Carolina. Looking in and delivering from the chest, as that one's going to be a ball in the dirt, and it'll load the count. The payoff pitch to Zambrano. Ball outside, and he works a walk against Keel.
Yeah, Keel's been great so far after that first inning, but right there walks that batter. And now coming up to the plate for Lake Norman is number 5, Jake Tanner, the shortstop. Took a first base last time with a walk, and with 1 runner on and 1 out of the inning. Trying to add to Lake Norman's tally right now, 4-2 lead.
First pitch to Tanner is a ball high and out of the zone. Not too big of a lead down on first base was Ivan Zambrano. Now he'll step off and they'll quickly throw back. He didn't even have time to kind of get into his stride before they fired back to first. Making sure the runner's not going anywhere. As focus will go to home plate for Keel. Runner will go and pit throw too high. So Zambrano's in there with a stolen base, and now with one away, the Copperheads have a runner in scoring position. So the count sits at 2-0 on Jake Tanner, looking to draw his second walk of the game.
Now, we've seen a couple times the Race City catcher, Jake Gorman, just not being able to get a good handle on the baseball, throwing it down to second. High a couple times, in the dirt a couple times, and right there just a little too high for a second baseman.
It's a pretty humid night here, although the clouds are pretty clear, as a big hack at the 2-0 blazed by him just a bit too fast for Tanner, so now his swinging strike will be the first strike of the AB. So Keel and Gorman disagreeing here, as finally the fifth offering will be the one that they take. Keel's delivery. Catching the outside part of the plate, it'll go for a strike. Zambrano stealing third, and he'll be safe. Some moves on the base path from the first baseman, as he's got the wheels rolling tonight.
He has Zambrano only one stolen base coming into the game and has two already tonight.
So now back to the action at home plate. The 2-2 fouled off over the screen down the first base side. We haven't seen too many foul balls so far tonight.
Yeah. And I was talking about those Lake Norman home games. Big break in between the one that we have on Saturday night, the 2nd of July. Then we have the 13th, but a lot of home games for Lake Norman right off the season. 13th, 15th, 16th, 18th, 19th, and 22nd. So the end of the SCBL season, we got a lot of home games for Lake Norman heading into that end of season tournament.
We will have all of those live streamed here on YouTube on the SCBL baseball channel. Hoping during that streak of a week and a half where the Copperheads don't have any home games, we will be able to head out and stream at another location as the 3-2 is fouled off. It'll get between the screen and fall next to some fans. So a big, deep breath from Tanner as he steps back in. Leans that shoulder off of, or he leans that bat off the back shoulder. Now the full count offering is called strike 3. That was a perfectly placed pitch in the bottom outer part of the zone, as that will be the second out of the inning. Zambrano standing 90 feet away over Keel, trying to keep him there and keep the lead at 2 for Lake Norman. So Connor Pfizer comes up to bat, and he started the strikeout streak against Keel as Pfizer, Brown, Will, Oman, and Dawson all went strikeouts. The 0-1 quickly turns to 0-2 as that one's a little too far high and outside. Excuse me, 2-0.
Always keeping us honest up here.
So time is called in Keel's stride, so he'll have to step off. Pfizer will step out. Now he'll dig back in. And that one's going to be put into play down the left field line, but shading over and making the play is the left fielder, Hunter Sherrill. So Zambrano, standing on third with only one away, is stranded there by the Copperheads as Christian Keel has himself a good 2 innings of work now under his belt. Hasn't given up any in the second and the third. When we come back, we'll see Jake Shaw out for his 4th inning of work for the Lake Norman Copperheads, as we'll be right back here from Cox Mill High School. Luke Holland gets things started for the Bootleggers at the plate to begin the top of the fourth. Jake Shaw back out on the mound for his fourth inning of work. His first pitch fouled against the screen here right in front of us. So Shaw leads the count 0-1. Thought about chasing at a ball in the dirt, holds off. The appeal to our first base umpire says he did not go. So now sticks on the scoreboard. The 1-1 just misses high and outside. Astudillo tried to bring it back. Could not. As working quickly back to the plate. That's a fastball that runs high and inside. So Holland having to step out of the box and recollect himself now. And a swing and a miss on the 3-1 pitch. Nice location to get a chase from Jake Shaw. As the count now loaded. Shaw looks in. Now he'll deliver the payoff. And a foul ball straight back against the screen. Holland stays alive. Had a walk in his first at-bat. Looking to find a way to get on here. Still some activity in that Bootleggers bullpen. However, no full sessions being thrown as we see ball 4. And the leadoff man is on for the Bootleggers. And the tying run comes to the plate in the way of the designated hitter, Bailey Faircloth.
Yeah, just to know who's warming up in that Ray City bullpen. It's number 33, Trey Hillman. Second time tonight that he's been up and active. As we do see two Copperheads pitchers over there. He's doing some arm care. As that was Grayson Barger and Ian Askin. But you can't imagine Askin going out to pitching tonight after the showcase this past beginning of the week.
Quincy Thornton was getting a little bit of work down there, it looked like, but not in uniform, so we won't see him out in this one. As the first pitch to Faircloth goes for a strike. Runner will go, and gunning it down will not be in time, as a lot of speed there from Luke Holland as he stands up safe into second. So nobody away, and a runner in scoring position now for the Bootleggers. As one big hit can get him back within one here from Bailey Faircloth.
Yeah, the Copperheads, they put up that 4 spot in the first inning, but Ray City not that far behind, only 2 runs, but it certainly feels like a lot more.
Fastball at head height of Faircloth there. Didn't really flinch too much, just kind of got out of the way of it. As you got a fastball running in at you in the 80s right at your head. It's not exactly something that it's not exactly something you don't flinch at.
Yeah.
Nice location from Tanner to catch the bottom part of the zone to move the count to 2-2. So he'll get the sign from Astudillo. Quickly check back on Holland at second. And the count runs full. A lot of full counts tonight.
On both sides.
On both sides, yes. Already over an hour and 10 minutes into this one. That one is a fly ball out to left. It'll be playable for Wilson Lure, and he will have it for the first out of the inning. Holland will stay put at second.
And that one just poked off the end of the bat.
It flew a little further than I thought it was going to, especially with the contact that it made. So ball looks to be flying a bit here, especially with the wind blowing out, as we get a nice gust of wind here up in the press box.
Feels nice up here.
But that wind blowing out of left field is going to be something to watch. As if one of these righties gets a hold of one, it could end up over the wall. Runner goes down to third. Astudillo's throw will not be in time. He threw to the left side of Jaden Hackbarth instead of at his glove, and the time that it took Hackbarth to bring the glove back around was just a little bit too late. So Luke Holland has another stolen base to his name tonight.
Yeah, great velocity on that throw from Astudillo. Just threw it to the left side, not the right side. If that's on the right side of Hackbarth, that's out too right there. As we see that one popped up into right field. Second base will call for it and catch it. Runner will stay at third base. Good job by Zach Will over there communicating with his right fielder, James Oman, and getting the second out of the inning.
So that fly ball just not far enough as Landon Reeves looking to try to bring the run in any way he could, but just not far enough for the sacrifice fly.
And we've seen a lot of those tonight, just poked into weird positions. That was the final out of the inning, last inning for Ray City, and then second out right there.
Ball a bit too low for Shaw. On our new batter, Dallas Allen. He hit a sacrifice fly for an RBI in the first. As now umpire shows sticks. Allen will step back in, and we will try the 1-1. High leg kick. And a foul ball from Dallas Allen brings the count to 1-2. Looking for one more strike. Shaw trying to get out of this inning, stranding a runner 90 feet away. The 1-2 from Shaw. Delivers home, and that kicks off the leg of Allen, so he'll head down the first. It'll be a dead ball, so the runner cannot advance. As Holland was charging home, he would have been safe easily, but instead of that being a pass ball, it clips off the shoe of the batter Dallas Allen, so now runners on the corners. For the first baseman, Brandon Johnson. First pitch to Johnson is a called strike. So Shaw quickly ahead in the count. Looking to leave both runners stranded, but a big fly here could take the lead for the Bootleggers. As runner will be caught in a pickoff. Trying to fire down to second. It won't happen. Astudillo, tag at the plate, not in time. The Bootleggers get at least one here in the top of the fourth, and now the Copperheads' lead is diminished to 1 run as some anarchy on the base paths.
That's the second time this game we've seen Bootleggers with runners at the corners, and great job. First time the runner was out in that pickle, but the run scored, and then there the runner is safe at second base and at home. So just great heads-up baseball cue for the Bootleggers on the base paths tonight.
Well, such severe speed from Dallas Allen was able to make that play as a fastball goes high against Johnson. But just he had such good speed that even if they did fire down, Zambrano's throw was not going to be in time, and Holland just took advantage of the situation, and there was no way that they could get the ball back to home plate before he could cross. Shaw still some work to do here with Holland still in scoring position, and a base hit would surely bring him in with how fast he has been around the bases. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. It'll be a drop third strike. Instead, it'll be actually a catch by Astudillo. These runners have fooled me a couple times tonight, taken down off first, but our umpire says, no, you can head back to the dugout. It's a called strike 3. As the Ray City Bootleggers bring across one and make it a very interesting ball game. We'll see if the Copperheads can get some insurance run in the bottom half of the fourth inning when we come back here from Cox Mill High School. Robbie Brown leads things off in the bottom of the fourth as the extra hitter struck out in his first trip to the plate. New pitcher on the mound is Trey Hillman for the Race City Bootleggers as he replaces Christian Keel. Keel gave up 4 runs, however, an abundance of strikeouts, sitting at 7 or 8. So he had himself a very good night. Apart from that forgettable first inning in his mind, but the Bootleggers have backed it up as they've been able to score 3, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the fourth, as Hillman fires high and inside on Brown, and the count moves to 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, Keel had that forgettable first inning, like you were saying, ever since. Has had a lot of strikeouts, had that run of Ks, and see that goes for a strike right there, and the count runs full. But ever since that first inning, Keel settled into the ball game and looked really good.
The full count pitch is swung on and put in play, but it's going to be right at the center fielder, Dallas Allen. So he'll be able to make the play. And that brings up the righty, Zach Will. Substitution into the game for the Bootleggers. Brandon Johnson is subbed out for Blake Haller down at first base. So Will shows bunt. Stays off of it with the ball being in the dirt. A little bit of a voice crack there.
Happens to the best of us.
Boys are laughing at me here.
Can't catch a break here, huh?
Hard ball hit down the third base line, and no, you can't.
No.
That one actually goes up all the way onto the road. That one got way out there. It found a hole between the dugout and the bullpen. Just
kept on going.
There was no stopping that thing. The 1-1 from Hillman. Breaking pitch a little bit too low. Count now moves 2-1 on Will. Just out of the zone. Another one misses low. And another hitter's count here, this time on Will. Base paths empty. 1 away in the inning. The 3-1. Big swing and a miss on a fastball that ran inside on Will. Lost his footing on the swing as he was looking to take advantage of the gust of wind that just came through. Full count pitch now, as that's a chopper. It's going to be fielded by Hillman, firing down to first as Haller makes the catch just in time. So Zach Will be out on a ground out. So 2 away in the inning now for the Copperheads. As James Oman, the right fielder, now due up. Oman had a strikeout in his first appearance, as he was in the midst of Keel's tear through the bottom half of this order. First pitch from Hillman goes for a ball. Second one catches the edge of the zone, as that outside corner has been the location of choice for bootlegger pitchers.
Yeah, we've seen Oman in that lineup a lot lately. You know, the Lincoln lineup has shifted around a lot this season. You know, especially in the doubleheaders, we've seen completely different lineups pretty much every time. But Oman's been a mainstay in the last couple of games, and with that average, you have to imagine why.
Well, it's interesting. You sit and wonder why, with a .348 average, Oman is batting ninth. And in the eyes of manager Stevens, as that ball will be fouled down the first base line. It was slicing that way. Is it another ball for the Copperheads? Just barely misses on the foul side, as we have our camera battery go out again. It's not liking us so far tonight. We do apologize for the inconveniences.
I mean, there's been a lot of guys on this Copperheads team with great averages. Asadio 333, Schultz almost 500, Ixerino above 300, Pfizer, Hackbarth, Jake Tanner above 400 to see that one. To the shortstop, or out 2 in the inning. Or excuse me, out 3 in the inning. And Race City puts a 0 up on the board for the 3rd inning in a row. So only down by 1, and a chance here to strike back. Close game here at Coxsville High School.
Jake Shaw back on the mound for the Lake Norman Copperheads as we get things started in the top of the 5th with a fly ball. Shading on and making the play is the right fielder, James Oman. And so very quickly, 1 pitch and 1 out away here in the top of the 5th.
Now we do apologize for that camera battery not liking us so far tonight. Reese trying to get that figured out on the technical side of things, but 1 out of the inning and a good start so far this inning for Shaw.
First pitch to our new batter, Michael Carroll, is a swing and a miss on a fastball down in the zone. So Carroll quickly 0-1 now. Shaw working very quickly so far in this inning. However, this time shaking off a couple pitches before he fires home to Astudillo and rings one nicely in on the inside part of the zone. Count now moves 0-2.
Yeah, Shaw working very quick here, just feeling the rhythm. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and that one's in the dirt for his first ball of the inning.
That one will head over towards the Bootleggers dugout. And so
now the count will be 1-2. Just a reminder, 1 out of the inning.
the 1-2 here on the leadoff batter, and that's a fastball that misses high, so count evens up at 2-2. Carroll so far in the game has had 2 walks, so he's reached both times. Still 0 for 0 on the score sheet, and that'll change to 0-1 with a strikeout from Shaw. So Carroll heads back to the dugout, and our new batter, Hunter Sherrill, will step in.
Yeah, Shaw finding his rhythm right here in this inning. 2 straight outs. And that'll be a good hack for strike 1 in the inning right there. Or excuse me, strike 1 in that bat.
Sherrill has a pop out and a ground out so far in this one. Shaw delivers in a nice breaking pitch that catches the outer part of the plate. Pretty neutral in the zone, but a nice spot on the outer part as that one's fouled off over the glove of Astudillo, and the count remains 0-2. So Shaw making quick work of the Bootleggers here in the top of the 5th, trying to sit him down 1-2-3 and get the Copperheads back up to bat. The 0-2 from Shaw. Swung on and missed, and Jake Shaw with 2 strikeouts and a quick pop-up to end the inning, as that was our quickest half inning so far, and it'll give us a chance to get the camera batteries to charge a little bit longer. We'll see if the Copperheads can add any insurance runs when we come right back for the bottom of the 5th.
And we are back here as the speedy Kyrus Dawson will step in to the plate. It's 1-2-3 this inning for Lake Norman. Dawson, Loher, and Hackbarth. As we do see the Bootleggers pitcher Trey Hillman step in for his second inning of work. Put up a 0 spot in his first 3 outs.
We apologize if you hear any noise in the background. We're getting dive bombed by a wasp right now. He just smacked into my hat.
That one will run inside for a ball, 1-0.
I'm not sure what homie's got against us up here, but
Yeah.
he must not like the broadcasting too much because he's tried to dive bomb us a couple times.
That fastball will be outside, and Cal will go to 2-0. Must be a Bootleggers fan. The Wasp traveled all the way down here from Mooresville, as that one will be fouled off over the screen. The count go 2-1. If you guys remember, Dawson had a lot of foul balls in that last at-bat, just battled off. Maybe an 8 or 9 pitch at-bat really made the pitcher work for it, but ended up going down on a K. His first at-bat was that double to start off the game in the gap, and we do see that center fielder shaded to his left a little bit. As that one will be popped up in the infield, and that one will be over the screen towards the batting cages over there. But Dallas Allen is taking note of that double that Dawson had earlier in the game, shading to his left, and trying to cut off that gap.
I don't think that's Dallas Allen out there in center. I think Dallas Allen shaded over to right. I'm not sure who that is in center. But because I think going by the roster we were given, I don't think that's Allen because it looks like Allen out in left field. So I'm not sure who that is out in center. Well, we will try to get a correction as soon as we can as Dawson draws a walk and the Copperheads have one on to start the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, so with Dawson on, Wilson Loher will step into the box. Dawson, ever so speedy, as we were mentioning earlier, a big threat on the base path, especially with 0 outs in the inning. That changes the complexion of this inning big time.
Started the game with the single in the first inning, and in his previous at-bat, he walked. He accounted for 2 runs.
Yeah.
That's correct, 2 runs in the
same
first
inning.
inning as he was on base and scored with his at-bat, and then he was put in as a pinch runner for the catcher, Dario Astudillo.
Dawson will go, and that one will be fouled off down the left field line past the Bootleggers bullpen and onto that little hill, as the hit and run attempt will not be successful, so Dawson will have to track back to first base.
It's the only downside of having all of the giant windows open up here is that
Yeah.
the buggies can sneak in and out as they please, and especially when it gets dark with the lights up here. It's a haven for them.
As Hillman will fire back there, but Dawson in plenty of time. Especially with the wind, though. We like the wind up here. It keeps us cool, but also
absolutely.
glad we got some tape tonight to keep down these papers for the stats and such up here. As he will fire back to first base again, and Dawson in there with plenty of time. So the count stays at 0-1. Dawson at first. He will take off once again, and Loher will foul it off, so Dawson will have to track back to first base for the second time in a row.
Man, frustration, smacking
Yeah.
the barrel of the bat is lure because he knows it's a hit-and-run scenario, trying to put it in play. And the 2 steal attempts from Dawson have just been unfortunate to come on foul balls.
I think as Dawson's probably safe on both of those. So speedy down there, and no shot that the Bootleggers catcher was able to get him on those.
Gorman's had a couple firing down to second that slips out of his hand, but Hillman is not letting Dawson get too big of a lead. They need every step they can get off Kyrus.
And the problem is with such a speedy guy like Kyrus Dawson, he can take that big of a lead and be able to get back to the bag in plenty of time, as that will be ripped down the right field line. Dawson around second, and he will get in there standing. So runners at the corners for Lake Norman. As the throw will go past the third baseman, but Dawson will be able to stay there as heads-up play by Trey Hillman, backing up his third baseman and potentially saving a run right there, as that one just got under the glove. So runners at the corners for the second time in this ball game with these 2 guys on the bases. As if you remember last time, Wilson Loher took second base. Last time they had runners at the corners. And now Jaden Hackbarth will step in on to the right-hander's batter's box, excuse me.
That's just a great piece of hitting by
Yeah.
Lure. You're down 0-2. You sit on a pitch. You fouled a couple off as that one looking to turn 2 single-handed is the second baseman, and he's able to, just off the mark, barely beating it out was Hackbarth, but that almost looked to be a phenomenal play from the second baseman, Landon Reeves, as he was trying to go 5-3 double play all by himself.
Yeah,
Excuse me, interrupted you there.
No, you're good. I mean, yeah, that was a great play by Reeves right there. Just getting that baseball, stepping on second, fired over to first. But the speed of Hackbarth just beat him out. But the run does score, so the Copperheads extend their lead to 2 for the second time in this ball game. And now Dario Astudillo, the catcher, with 1 out of the inning, and Hackbarth standing at first. Hackbarth will take a step off his lead and step back as the pitcher will step off the mound.
Astudillo 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout.
So now we look at Astudillo with 7 at-bats and 8 walks this season. As Estadio watched that big loopy curveball go in the bottom of the zone for a ball. One 0 pitch. And that fastball will be outside, and the count will go to 2-0. So with Trey Hillman on the mound right now, Bootleggers only have 3 of the pitchers available tonight. Interesting to see how they use those 3. 2-0 pitch, that one will be popped up. And that'll be an easy catch from the Bootleggers first baseman, Blake Loher, for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, Holler seeing his first action with a fly ball since coming into the game in the previous inning. So Ivan Zambrano will head up to bat. Had an RBI single in his first trip to the plate and a walk in his second. So we'll see what he can do with 2 away and a runner on first.
Hackbarth still standing on first. 0-0 pitch. That one ripped into the right center field gap. Will that ball get down? It will. Runner rounding second. Another one rounding first. Hackbarth will head it home. Oh, no, he will stay at third, as that is a good decision from the third base coach, Sean Stevens. A great rip right there from Ivan Zambrano, his second hit of the night. As looks like the center fielder was shaded to his left, bigger than usual. And that one just sneaked through that gap. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Jake Tanner.
And Zambrano just corked
Yeah.
that fastball. I mean, first pitch he sees just flying out into the gap. That one rolling all the way to the wall, so showing off his power.
As Tanner will take a hack on that breaking pitch, and that'll be strike 1.
Yeah, he looked like he was waiting for that first pitch fastball that Zambrano had, but just kind of had to sit there leaning, and
Yeah.
already committed to going around as the ball dipped out of the field of contact.
0-1 pitch. That one will be outside for a ball. And something. Oh, and the runner will go home, and he will score. As that is great base running from the Lake Norman Copperheads. Saw the lackadaisical throw from the Bootleggers catcher, Jake Gorman. He decided to take that base right there, and the Copperheads are now up by 3.
I was watching Hackbarth creep down
Yeah.
the line. He was waiting for it because we've seen a couple throws from Gorman just be a little bit more of a rainbow pass rather than a dart back.
Yeah.
And so real heads-up base running as he was almost halfway down the line on the throw back to home, and an easy run scoring for the Copperheads as their lead now back up to 3. We've had a couple
Watch it, Cammy.
we've had a couple balls land right next to the press box, down next to the concession stands.
So the count will stay at 1 and 2 as, yeah.
No one's safe.
No, not even the people working the snack stand. 1-2 pitch. That one is lined into center field, but no hurry to get that one as the Bootlegger center fielder Dallas Allen will get out 3 in the inning, but not after the Copperheads score 2 and extend their lead to 3. Stick with us here at Coxmo High School as the Copperheads extend their lead. And we are back here as after Ray City allowed 2 in the last inning, now down by 3, trying to get a couple of those runs back here. And as it looks like Jacob Shaw will stay on the mound for the Copperheads. A good night so far. Only 3 allowed runs. As we do see some activity in that late number bullpen, but it's not a true bullpen session yet.
The shortstop, Aiden Evans, coming up to the plate. A reach-on error and a strikeout so far for him tonight.
That one popped up down the right field line. And will land on top of one of those batting cages over there.
Still have had none fly over into the softball field yet. It's normally a common occurrence here at Cox Mill. You'd really think, well, there's 2 games going on at the same time, that there'd be a lot of conflict, but there normally isn't.
Yeah. And that one swing and a miss, and he will go down on the count 0-2. I think the thing is as well is a lot of these college guys, you know, a lot more pop in their bats than most of those high school people, so a lot more chances to put it over that fence. Not the fence in center field, but the fence that we have behind home plate. 0-2 pitch from Shaw. That one will be low.
That was an interesting little exchange there, as it almost looked like Evans wanted time. He didn't get it because he was pretty much out of the box when that pitch was delivered, but still too low as count moves 1-2 on Shaw's ball.
And he will decide to swing there. Astadio will field that one, throw it over to first, and will beam the runner, but he will stay at first base. There's just some miscommunication from Dario Astadio and Evan Zambrano. As we see Zambrano, normally the outfielder, playing first base tonight, not calling inside or outside on that one. And Astadio, unfortunately, hitting the batter.
Well, that's a hard throw when you're when you're in the position where Astadio was. I mean, the base runner is right in the lane of throwing, and there's almost nothing you can do unless you're going to take an extra step to the side. But at that point, the runner might be able to reach.
So now Jake Gorman will step up to the plate with 1 runner on. He will see that one go by for a strike. Yeah, this is so hard to judge, and as the runner, you want to get in the way. That's your goal, but you want to get in the way but not get hit necessarily.
Hey, I'll take a bruise on my back if I can get on first with no outs.
Yeah. Shaw will fire that back to first base, but the shortstop Aiden Evans gets there in plenty of time.
And that's got to be a little bit of a mental swing for a guy like Shaw, who throws his pitch that he wants, gets a swing and a miss, like, all right, I got 1 away in the inning, nobody on, and then just an unfortunate situation like that happens, and now all of a sudden you've got a strikeout to your name, but still a runner on.
As we see that one miss high, and the count will run even at 1-1.
Catcher Jake Gorman up to bat. He struck out in both of his appearances. Now sits with sticks on the scoreboard.
Shaw will fire over, and he will get there in plenty of time once again. That's very surprising. We've seen Astadio be rock solid behind the plate so far this year in this game. So it's surprising to see him make an error behind the dish.
Well, again, it's not even so much his fault either because of how far that ball popped off his chest protector. I mean, it went all the way into the grass here down the first base line. And at that point where we've seen how speedy Aiden Evans is on the base pass, we've seen how fast he can be. And so you're at a point where you're Astadio, you've got to pick it up and fire it down because you have no time to readjust. And when the runner's just in your way, it's a hard scenario, especially with Zambrano set up on the inside part of the bag, and the only place you could throw is to the outside.
Runner will be going, swing and a miss, and Astadio will fire down, and no one to receive that one as we see Jake Tanner backing up the throw. And Aiden Evans will get in there in plenty of time. But he will have to go back to first base. For a reason I do not know why. As you can see in David's face, he's very puzzled as well. And it would be batter's interference, so the batter will be out. As Jake Gorman will go down with a very interesting call. I think that's the first time this season that we've seen batter's interference, so the runner will have to head back to first with 1 out in the inning. Swing and a miss there from Luke Holland. Holland, so far this game, 0 for 0, 2 walks tonight.
So that'll go down in the books as a strikeout for Gorman, but did not get out of the way of Astadio's throw. So the runner has to head back, but I do want to commend a good play from Zach Will after this pitch.
That one will be a strike, and count goes to 0-2.
So smart move by Will is he's covering over at second, and to try to fool the runner thinking that the throw is right in because the runner can't see the ball, smacks his glove and then still tags him and holds it on there as if he's got the ball. And so the thoughts of Aiden Evans is that, oh, the ball's right there, I got nowhere to go, but instead it's actually 300 feet out into center field and in the hands of Kyrus Dawson.
And that will be out 2 of the innings, so 2 quick strikeouts here for Jacob Shaw. And now number 27, Bailey Faircloth, will step in the DH tonight for Race City.
Strikeout 11 for Shaw on the night.
He fires back there, and the runner will be safe. As he's had his fair share of strikeouts against Jake Gorman, as Gorman has the hat trick. And not a great hat trick, 3 straight strikeouts, but Shaw's definitely had the better of him tonight.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. First for the AB, runner will be going. Asadi will fire down that one to the left side of Zach Will, and the runner will be safe there. You won't have to head back to first on that one. So a runner in scoring position.
That was another scenario where they could have called batter's interference because after the swing, Faircloth stood almost in front of home plate. Astudillo had to throw around him. But no call given, so no runner's interference. Count still remains 0-1.
We've seen a lot of interesting calls this inning with possibly the runner right in the baseline and Astudillo hitting him, and then the runner's interference call 2 at-bats ago, and that's a good hack there by Faircloth, and he'll go down on the count 0-2. Shaw will get the sign from Astudillo and become set. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Runner will be going. Astudillo will fire down to third, and he will be in there safe. Oh, no, he will get him as Aiden Evans is very surprised by that call. Still laying there at third base, but a great throw by Astudillo for the 3rd out of the inning. And Hackbarth lays down the tag, and Jacob Shaw puts up 0 for once another inning, continuing his dominance tonight. And stick with us to see if the Copperheads can extend their lead, right now up by 3. And we are back here as Connor Pfizer is the first batter of the inning. Pfizer playing DH today, 7-8-9. 4 late Norman up in this inning. Connor Pfizer, Robbie Brown, and Zach Will. As Pfizer swings through that fastball, and the count will even up at 1-1. As we did see Race City manager going over to argue that call with the field umpire, having his fair shake with him, and had a discussion over there, but did not get the call he wanted. So out 3 will stand. Count goes to 2-1 here for Pfizer. Pfizer lines that one through the gap, and that will be a single to start off the inning. And that goes for Pfizer's first hit of the day, And one runner on to start the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, Pfizer was looking to find it as he started the day with a strikeout and then made contact on his next at-bat with a flyout, and now finally able to put one in play. So the Copperheads with one on and nobody away here in the bottom of the 6th.
So Robbie Brown will step in with Pfizer over there first. He will see that one and foul it off to the right-hand side. Will that one stay in? No, it will not. Over towards the Lake Norman bullpen. So Robbie Brown falls down in the count 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. Now one lined into the right center field gap. Will that ball get down? It will not, as the Ray City right fielder will track over and get that one. As Michael Carson gets the first out of the inning right there. And now Zach will step in for the 3rd time tonight. 1 strikeout and 1 ground out so far tonight for Will.
Yeah, Will hoping for the same result as Pfizer, as they've pretty much done the same thing. So a strikeout and then an out in the field of play. So looking for first hit for Zach Will. Tries to bunt it down the first base side, but a little bit too strong and foul.
It's cooled down here tonight at Coxsville High School, now sitting at 78 with a real feel of 83. So still a little hot, but a lot better than when we had at first pitch.
Humidity is
through the roof.
Yeah, it's always got us here in Concord, as that's a bunt down the first base line. And Will beat it out. He will. What a fantastic play from Zach Will. Bunting it down the first base line and bringing Blake Haller off of his position, and Will using his speed to his advantage, as Haller was trying to do it unassisted, trying to go 3 on the out, but not fast enough to get back to the bag and beat Will, as he looked like he turned on the Jets in the last half of that run.
And that's a case there. Will just wanted it more than Haller right there. Will was just determined to get down that line and be safe, and he was, and that's a big play right there. So now 2 runners on with 1 out of the inning. And that will be lined to the second baseman. He will make a diving play. We'll be able to get a 1 run rounding third, another one rounding second, and the Copperheads add to their tally, as that is an RBI single for James Owen, and he stays red hot here on the season. Seems to be a double. So he will get in there to second base. Now 2 runners in scoring position, as Owen had 2 doubles against Statesville Owls on Friday night and continues his streaks of doubles.
God, it feels like anytime he comes up to bat, he's just putting it into the gap in
Yeah.
right center. Same place he had a few of his doubles a few nights ago. And so Omen, and not really the 10-hole hitter, but more of the second leadoff, as now Kyrus Dawson is due back up, and the Copperheads have a 4-run lead.
Dawson watches that one go low, and a Dawson double here would be nice. Dawson already had 1 double tonight.
Up for his 4th at bat. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout, as well as a walk.
He watches that one go outside, and he will be up in the count 2-0. So Dawson will step back into the box with Omen at second and Will at third. That one low and outside. Oh, excuse me, that was a strike. As the count go to 2-1.
Oh, I love these guys. I just love the energy of this summer ball, man. These
Yeah.
guys having so much fun. Like, I mean, that's the point of this. It's to grow and get better, but at the same time, it's also to meet new people, have a great time. And these boys in the Copperhead dugout have just gotten to know each other so well, and it's been so much fun to kind of see them grow. And now we got the kids barking.
That one high, and the count run full 3-2. As we hear our Copperhead channels enter Golden Retriever over there in the dugout.
Start calling them the Bulldogs with the red, black, and white unis.
Full count pitch to Dawson, as he will foul that one off. And some kids will run over and get that one, as they've been very busy tonight getting foul balls. Especially when Dawson's been up. Man, he's been fouling off everything he's seen.
It felt like the first couple innings we didn't have any over the screen, and then I made a comment about it and manifested it into existence, and now it feels like any foul ball is over the screen.
We'll try the 3-2 once again, and he will walk Dawson, so the bases will be loaded for Wilson Loher. Loher 2 for 2, already 2 singles tonight. As we do see a mound visit from the Race City manager. The last time that the Race City manager had a mound visit with one of his players, his pitcher had 5 straight Ks. He's trying to continue that success.
And that will be the end of the night for Trey Hillman as we have a new pitcher into the game for the Race City Bootleggers. While he warms up, we'll let you watch, and we'll take a quick break as we'll be back with all the information about our new slinger on the mound when we come back from Cox Mill High School.
And Gavin Queen is the new pitcher for the Race City Bootleggers, and coming in a precarious situation here. Bases loaded, only 1 out of the inning. As his first pitch of the night will be a big swing and a miss from number 11 for Lake Norman, Wilson Loher. As I was saying earlier, 2 for 2 in the night with 2 singles, 1 walk on the afternoon. And he swung at that high fastball, so he'll be down on the count 0-1. And a balk from Queen. So not a great start to his afternoon as he will let a runner come home, and Lake Norman extends their advantage. As that's about the easiest run that Zach will have all season right there.
That's got to hurt for Queen, man.
Yeah.
You come into the game and just a very simple mistake is made.
As we see that one fouled off the left hand, the left side. Yeah, and I feel like that Race City dugout's just not very happy with the calls they've been receiving tonight. We saw the manager come out and talk to the field umpire after a third out call from a stealing attempt and asked that he would throw him out. And a couple calls just haven't gone their way tonight. That's the second balk call that we've seen on the Race City side tonight.
And it's really hard with only a 2-man umpire crew, especially when you've got a situation where nobody's really kind of over next to third base, so you've got both guys making the call, from one from home and one from behind the mound near second. You don't really have a guy right there on it just to be able to visualize it, and so obviously some appeal is the Bootleggers had a better view than we did.
As that one is poked to the shortstop, and I'll be out 2 of the inning. As Aiden Evans, the man who was caught stealing for that third out of the inning, will catch that little pop fly, and coming up to the plate is Jaden Hackbarth. you guys remember, Hackbarth last time was standing on third base and saw a lazy throw from the Race City catcher Jake Gorman and said, hey, I'm going to take home. And a great heads-up play from him, and he will step into the box with 2 runners in scoring position.
Hackbarth 0 for 1 today with a fly out. Has 2 unrecorded stats with a walk and a fielder's choice.
Hackbarth will watch that fastball go by on the outside part of the plate for ball 1, just missing that outside corner. So here comes the 1-0 pitch from Queen. That one low and outside, but it will be a strike this time. So Queen will even have to count it 1-1. Queen will get the sign from Gorman and become set. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And that is a nice breaking pitch right there from Queen. He will jump up in the count 1-2 as Hackbarth just had to watch that one go by.
Nothing he could really do.
Queen 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Swing and a miss, and he will get out of the inning, only allowing a 1 run from Queen right there. And that's in that balk, but Lake Norman extends their lead. Still up with a healthy amount here in this ball game. We'll see if Race City can get back in this ball game down by a decent amount.
Welcome back to Cox Mill High School as we have a new pitcher in for the Lake Norman Copperheads as number 31, Grayson Barger, heads into the game for Jake Shaw. He had an absolutely phenomenal night. 6 innings pitched, no hits allowed, and 11 strikeouts. 3 runs did come across, however, those 3 runs did not result on a hit.
So you're saying they have 3 runs and no hits?
3 runs and no hits as the first pitch from Barger is fouled off to our batter, the designated hitter, Bailey Faircloth.
That's something you don't see every day. 3 runs allowed and no hits.
Faircloth 0 for 1 with a walk. As Barger works out of the stretch. Give the nod to Astudillo. Now he'll deliver home, and off speed gets an early swing and a miss on Bailey Faircloth. Now the count moves 0-2.
Yeah, looking at Barger's SCBL season, only had one appearance so far. That was that second game of that doubleheader against Kingsman. 2 innings pitched with a 9 ERA and 1 strikeout. 0-2 pitch from Barger. And that would be strike 3. So a great start to Barger's night right there.
So Barger, first guy he sees, he sits down. That's now 12 combined strikeouts for Lake Norman.
And me and you were talking before this inning how incredible Barger's story is. Just a recap for everybody that didn't see that interview with Anthony Castiel. If you do want to see that interview, check it out on the SCPO Instagram page. There's that full-length interview where Castiel talked about Barger's story. As we see that one go for a strike. Barger played 2 years at Erskine College and then decided to transfer to college to Charleston, just be a normal student, played a little club ball there. And then this summer picked up a baseball game, was throwing high 80s and found love with the game once again. And now out here in Lake Norman in the portal right now and looking for a home this upcoming season.
Already has an offer so far this summer. I forget the location, but Castiel and I were talking about it. But the school has already offered him, so they like what they see out of the big right-hander. As he comes in a big spot for Lake Norman. They lead, however, trying to keep Shaw's fantastic night alive. The 1-1 outside. Astudillo, good pick off the dirt to keep that one from rolling to the backstop. 2-1 count now, 1 away in the inning. Barger's already sat one down with a swinging strikeout. Infield shaded regularly, officially color out of the sky. So we are here on a black night as that one is fielded by the shortstop. Throw made by Zambrano. And that will be the first out of the inning. Second out of the inning, excuse me.
And Barger, a much better start to the night than he had last weekend. Just trying to get his feet under him last weekend, pitching for the first time in a decent while, and then now getting comfortable here. 2 straight outs.
Now batting number 16, Dallas Allen.
The left-hander, Dallas Allen, steps in with 2 away here in the top of the 7th. Barger misses outside. So he'll start the count against the speedy Allen, 1-0.
And I saw those photos he put on his Instagram, great photos by you, David, going down there for about 2-3 innings and taking photos of all these guys last weekend.
Listen, man, got to do like 3 different things at once.
Yeah.
Doing my best to do them all. So
As I've heard, you got a lot more good content coming for the SCB on Instagram
we
and Lake
absolutely
Norman.
do. Stay tuned to the SCBL Twitter and Instagram pages as we will have a video up about our trip to Lynchburg, Virginia for the showcase this past Monday and Tuesday, as well as Kyle Whitaker, who normally plays third base for the Copperheads. I don't know why we did it, but we gave him a GoPro.
Yeah.
So he's down there running around getting some film with the boys in the dugout. So stay tuned to the Lake Norman Copperheads Instagram page as we will have all that content coming your way very, very soon. So not sure what the disruption is here. Home plate umpire writing something down. Sounded like it was a warning for the third base coach. So I had to make note of it in the record books. And now we are back to play here with the 2-1 count. Barger holds that knee high and delivers a strike on the bottom part of the plate. Trying to throw off the timing of our hitter, Dallas Allen. As now 2-2 with 2 outs. The payoff here, and that one's going to be high and outside, so the count now runs full with 2 away. I'm not sure what Reese is doing over here. He's like breaking our setup, smashing the keyboard.
Doesn't even go to Cox Mill and try to break the equipment, man.
The full count pitch. Barger kicks and delivers, and it's going to be too far in the dirt. Astudillo couldn't frame it and bring it back, so Dallas Allen will have himself a 2-out walk. As we will have a substitution here. Batting will be Blake Holler.
Yeah, and those videos that you're talking about, great to see, everybody that's been working here for this summer so far for the Copperheads, just a collective group, me and you obviously on the broadcast and on socials, but Reese behind the scenes and so many other people just coming into this press box and helping us out night in and night out. And, we've really elevated the the social media aspect of the Copperheads this summer compared to last year.
So many people doing great things here for the SCBL as well as for the Lake Norman Copperheads. Is just a big shout out to everyone that's helped out, and content still elevating. We're getting better and better as we go on as Barger fires back to first. If you got any questions for us for the last half of the game, please drop them in the comments. I know a lot of people at home got it thrown up on the TV, so you don't really have access to any kind of comment section. When you're watching on your phone, laptop, anything like that, shoot us a question. We want to hear what you have to say. Big swing and a miss, and the throw down to second will not be in time as it bounces. Almost looked like it either bounced off the edge of the glove of Tanner or it bounced off the helmet.
I think that was right off the dome.
I couldn't tell. Didn't hear a sound, so that's why I'm almost questioning if it bounced off the dome or not. But either way, a stolen base for Dallas Allen, and he's got so many tonight I can't keep count.
Has to be about probably 4, 5, maybe even 6 tonight for Allen.
Runner going to third, and Astadio trying to get that called strike 3 with the frame instead of gunning it down to third. So he chooses to try and get the punch out instead of the tag down at third. It was a very borderline pitch, but just a bit too far outside as now we sit 1-2 with 2 away. Barger, that one's put into play. It'll be a fair ball as 1 run will come in to score. It'll just be a single for Holler, and that will be the first hit for the Race City Bootleggers tonight, as Barger gives it up with 2 away in the top of the 7th.
I can't even say that's a commentator's curse because you mentioned it earlier in the inning, but that's something we're trying to keep hush hush around
You
here.
were sitting here since the 4th inning going, should we say it? Should we say it? Should we talk about these got no hits?
Yeah.
I blame Zane on that one, everybody.
Nah, I don't think I was the one that said it though.
You can fire your flack at Zane. So Justin Willis will bat for the first time tonight. He'll dig in from the right side. Barger working with a man on first. And he'll fire a fastball in there for the first strike of the at-bat.
Yeah, and just unfortunate from Barger right there. Had that last batter 0-2, but a great rip down the first base line. And now it has to deal with 1 runner on.
Barger looks in. Now he'll deliver. Big swing and a miss as Willis was behind on the Barger fastball. In the high 80s on the big heater. Now Barger needing 1 more strike to get out of this one. The 0-2. Fouled away. He'll stay alive as it bounces off the screen.
And that's very impressive by Barger. Throwing that high 80s, not picking up a base, not playing competitive baseball for a couple years, and just that arm strength and being able to fire in those high 80s fastballs.
I don't know if the mic just picked up on that, but the wasp just hit the microphone.
He's been very active
from
tonight.
Barger. Another foul ball from Willis, and he's not going down easy.
Yeah, that wasp has been tormenting us all night.
He's just been, I don't even know. There's so many windows up here, I can't believe he hasn't found his way out.
Yeah.
Infield and outfield is shaded pretty regularly as with only 1 more strike needed to get out of the inning, our camera passes away.
Of course. What's new?
So we'll revitalize it for the 3rd time tonight, throw a new battery in there. We'll bring it to you radio style here. 0-2. Runner with a short lead standing on first. Now the delivery home. Swing and a miss on an off-speed. Willis is sat down, and Barger strands 1, standing down on first base. That concludes the top of the 7th, and we'll be back to see what the Copperheads can do in the bottom half of the frame here from Cox Mill High School.
And welcome back here. Coxsville High School as the late number Copperheads now batting, and stepping into the box is Dario Astudillo, as he will see that one go by for a strike. Still on the mound for the Race City Bootleggers is Gavin Queen. Queen almost got out of that bases loaded 1-out jam last inning, but allowed that one run going as that is fired right back to Queen. Astudillo will run down the first, and he will get him as a heads-up play by Queen right there. But hopefully he is okay, as that line drive went right back at him. I don't know if that hit him in the body or got him in the glove. Hopefully in the glove, as you see the Race City manager coming out to check on him, but Queen looks okay. As I was saying earlier, Queen had bases loaded 1-out when he came into that jam. And the only run that he allowed was on a balk. So if he didn't have the unfortunate balk call, he would have got out of that jam with no runs allowed. So now, up to the plate for the Copperheads is the first baseman, Ivan Zamborino, as he will see that slider going in the opposite batter's box for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Queen. And that one high and outside on the count would be a hitter's count, 2-0. Two pitch from Queen. That one low and outside. And the count goes to 3-0. 3-0 pitch from Queen. That one will be a strike, so Queen trying to get back in this at-bat. Standing on deck for Lake Norman is the shortstop, Jake Tanner. Zambrano, a great night so far tonight. Only one for one with that one single, that being an RBI single, and 2 walks as well, as he will add to that walk tally, his 3rd of the night. And a runner will be on with 1 out of the inning for Jake Tanner. Tanner so far tonight, he is 0 for 1. Excuse me, 0 for 2, but also a walk. That was in his first plate appearance of the night. So Tanner will step into the box. No activity in the Race City bullpen, so Race City has some confidence in their man Gavin Queen on the mound right now. That one will be low for a ball. Only 2 pitchers left for Race City so far on the night. As Queen will fire that one back over to first base. Just trying to keep the runner Ivan Zamborino on us. As now we have Reese on the call. Also doing scoreboard. Man of many talents. That one goes low, so Queen with some control issues so far in this inning after a flawless beside the balk last inning. Got out of that jam with those 2 straight outs. So Queen will have to battle down 2-0. That one high and outside, and Jake Tanner hasn't had to take the bat off his shoulders in this at-bat. 3-0 pitch from Queen. That one will be a strike. So Queen has gone down 3-0 for back-to-back at-bats. Got that 1 strike, but eventually walked the first batter. We'll see if he'll have the same fate here against Tanner. That one is outside, and he will eventually have the same fate, a 5-pitch walk. And Tanner will step on to first base. So runners at first and second for Connor Pfizer. Pfizer, the DH tonight for Lake Norman. Pfizer is 1 for 3 on the night with a single. That was in his last at-bat.
Now batting number 3, Connor Pfizer.
So Pfizer steps in, 1 out of the inning. As the runner will be going, both runners will be going. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Pfizer. As at first, it was Ivan Zamborino that took off to third, and he was going to be in there safely regardless. And the ball went past the Bootleggers catcher, Jake Gorman, so Tanner took his base as well. So Lake Norman already up by 4, trying to add to that tally here, and a great opportunity to do so. As that was a healthy hack right there from Connor Pfizer, and the count will run even at 1-1.
I believe that was our first wild pitch of the night.
1-1 pitch from Queen. And that one will be a swing and a miss from Pfizer. So he will go down on the count 1-2. One-two pitch from Queen. And that will be strike 3 as Pfizer goes down on a K for the second time tonight. And Robbie Brown will now step in. Robbie Brown is the EH tonight for Lake Norman.
Some of these umpire calls have been getting me tonight. I've been putting in the wrong counts. So I've been putting like what I thought was a ball would now be a strike in the umpire's eyes. So
Pitch from Queen. And that one will be outside for a strike. Just an update around the SCBL. We only have one SCBL game tonight, the Athletics versus the Vipers. And Athletics has allowed 0 runs tonight against the Vipers, up 4-0 in the top of the 9th inning. So that game going a lot quicker than the one here tonight at Coxmill High School. As you see that one outside for a ball. So the Vipers and the Athletics, they battle towards the bottom of the standings. And if Concord holds out here in the top of the 9th inning, they would advance to 6-8 on the year, only 2 games behind the top of the SCBL standings. 1-1 pitch from Queen. That one outside for a ball. And we have a 3-way tie right now on top of the SCBL standings, as the Mooresville Spinners, Kingsman Baseball, and the Lake Norman Copperheads all tied at 8-5. Kingsman the hottest out of those 3 teams with a 7-3 in their last 10 games. Spinners 6-4 in their last 10. And the Copperheads 5-5 in their last 10. Is that one low and outside? Copperheads start off the year red hot, 4-0. And then ever since then, 4-5. So not the greatest form as of late, but still around that 500 range.
much better than last year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had 8. They had 6 wins last year and 8 already. Is that a swing and a miss? And the count will run full to Robbie Brown. On deck for Lake Norman is Zach Will. Big pitch here. Full count, 2 outs in the inning. Here comes the pitch from Queen. And that one will be low. So the bases will be loaded for the second baseman, Zach Will. Zach scored last time off that balk from Queen in that bases loaded situation. So about the easiest run he'll have all season right there, just advancing on a balk. And a big opportunity to add to his RBI tally here tonight. That one inside for a ball. Went with 2 RBIs on the season. And a great chance to add 3 or 4 right here with 2 runners in scoring position. 1-0 pitch from Queen. And that one is outside for a ball. So Will with the hitters count up 2-0. 2-0. Swing and a miss from Will, as he saw a pitch he liked right there, but not be able to make any contact. And that is another swing and a miss from Will, so he was up in the count 2-0, and now it evens up at 2-2. Two-two pitch from Queen. That one will miss low, and the count will run full for back-to-back at-bats. Another huge pitch here from Queen, don't want to walk in that run. On deck for Lake Norman is James Oman. Oman had that RBI double his last at-bat. 3-2 pitch, runners will be going. As that one is ball 4, running up towards the head area of Zach Will, and he will take his base as we do see the Race City manager coming out to have a chat with his pitcher, Gavin Queen, as we do not see any activity in that Race City bullpen. So interesting to see how they use their pitchers here. Maybe use a position player to come in, as they're down by a solid amount, but also have 2 pitchers at their disposal, as They will use a new pitcher coming into the game. Is number 18, Hunter Sherrill. So Sherrill was playing left field for Race City, and now he'll come into pitch. Stick with us as we'll let Sherrill warm up in a bases-loaded situation. And welcome back. Here is the Race City Bootleggers have a new pitcher in the game. Hunter Sherrill was playing left field earlier tonight and batting second, but now have his opportunity on the mound. Sherrill was 0 for 3 on the night. And James Owen will step in. He's been red hot as of late. Had a double in his last at bat. And a big opportunity here to extend Lake Norman's lead. Sherrill's first pitch of the night will be high for a ball, 1-0. Sherrill gets signed from his catcher, Jake Gorman. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one will be on the outside part of the plate for a strike as his hat will fly off. The count even up at 1-1. 1-1 pitch. That one is outside for a ball, and the count will run at 2-1. 2-1 pitch from Sherrill. Swing and a miss from Omen. The count will go even 2-2. Omen, the Chipola college product. Great JUCO down there in Florida. Produced many MLB talents. So definitely going through a great system there and great opportunity to survive, to thrive in that environment and hopefully go to the next level. A lot of SCBL guys have advanced to the next level if that's independent ball, you know, at the pro level, or maybe going overseas and playing some pro baseball, and even going to the MLB level. A lot of guys that play in the SCBL have also college coaches. You want to see some SCBL alum, go on the website. There's an SCBL alum tab. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Runner's going. That one is outside for ball 4. So James Omen will take his base, and Kairos Dawson will step in with bases loaded once again. As now the Copperheads are up 10-4, and the bases stayed loaded. So this is the inning where Race City's night has unraveled. Dawson will swing through the 0-0 fastball. A 1 pitch from Sherrill. That one high and outside, and a good frame from his catcher. As Gorman maybe steals a strike right there. And Dawson down to the count, 0-2. And that'll be strike 3 in the inning, so Hunter Sherrill gets out of that jam, but not before Race City allows some runs. Late number up 10-4. Stick with us for some more SCBL baseball action. And welcome back here as we are coming to you for the top of the 8th inning. Ray City only has 6 outs left to play with, and Lake Norman has a new pitcher into the game. That pitcher being number 22, Thad Lewis. Lewis with a good start to the SCBL season, almost at the midway point here. Gone by very quickly this year. 14 innings pitched with a 3.21 ERA, 11 strikeouts, 1 win, 1 loss on the season. And he played in both games of that doubleheader last Saturday night against Kingsman. His first pitch of the night will be a high ball. Very surprised to not see Grayson Barger into the game. See if Lake Norman trying to save some arms. Maybe Barger for one more inning, then a position player to end it off. But wanted to see Thad Lewis get some work in here, as that one will go for a strike. As it is a very laid-back atmosphere here. Coxmill High School, especially in that Lake Norman dugout. We saw guys throwing football around before this last inning, before they had to get back into the dugout, and having lots of fun and up a lot right now. Two-one pitch from Lewis. That one is swung on into the netting. And that will even up in the count. Up to the plate for the Bootleggers is Michael Carroll, number 3. So this inning do it for Rice City is 1-2-3. Michael Carroll, Hunter Shell, and Aiden Evans. As we see Carroll step out of the box. And we do have a final. The Concord A's defeat the Carolina Vipers 4-1. As Concord pitching staff only allowing 1 run, a great showing from them tonight. And Thad Lewis. And he did catch the ball. But they will rule it a foul ball as it hit the ground. So Michael Carroll will live to see another day. no SCBL action going tomorrow night, but some good games on Friday night. As that will be strike 3 from Lewis right there, so it doesn't get the pitch before, but definitely got it right there, and that's the first out of the inning as the Copperheads infield will zip the baseball around the infield. And Hunter Shell will step up. Or excuse me, it won't be Hunter Shell because he is on the mound right now. As it might be Cheryl still, as we're still trying to get things ironed out with position changes. That one is low, and I think it is Hunter Cheryl. But I was mentioning earlier, some good SCBL action coming to you this weekend on Friday night. We have the Carolina Vipers versus the Mooresville Spinners, and your Late Norman Copperheads will travel up to Concord High School to face the Concord A's after their win tonight. And then on Saturday, we have 2 games. The Concord A's will play the Spinners as we see that one go for a strike. And then another live stream here on the SCBL Network, live from Cox Mill High School. The Carolina Vipers will travel up 77 and up to Concord, North Carolina to face the Copperheads. As that one just gets past the outstretched glove of the Copperheads third baseman, Jaden Hackbarth. And Hunter Shell will reach on base for the first time tonight. So now Aiden Evans will have 1 runner on to play with. Aiden Evans so far reached on an error in his first at-bat, and then back-to-back Ks after that.
Number 9, Aiden Evans.
And that was their second hit of the night. So it's still more runs than hits. You don't see that very often. Leader with a runner with a healthy lead over there at first. Lewis will check on him, but won't throw over. And Aiden Evans will swing through that fastball and will be down on the count 0-1. As with that win from the Concord Ace, it's a very tight top of the SCBL season standings, only 2 games behind. We see Lewis throw over there to first base, and they'll get past the Copperheads first base to Ivan Zambarino, who will rush over there to the fence, and the runner will stay put. As that was a scary play right there, almost got the face of the Race City first base coach. Luckily, it missed him. So the Concord A's now stand at 6-8, only 2 games behind Copperheads, Kingsmen, and the Spinners at 8-5. So here comes the 0-1 pitch from Lewis. That one misses high and outside for a ball. Count evens up at 1-1. And if you guys have any questions for us on the broadcast, make sure to drop them down below, as we were saying earlier. As getting to the later stage of this game. So if you guys have any questions for us on the broadcast or any comments about the Copperhead season or the SCBL season in general, make sure to drop them down. Maybe your takes or your favorite team, player. Maybe you're a parent tonight watching one of your son on the field for the Copperheads or for Race City. And that one will miss low end inside. The runner will go. Asadi will throw down, and the runner will be in there safely as the tag from Jake Tanner just not getting him. So the count will even up at 2-2, even count for the second time in the at-bat. Pitch from Lewis. That one outside, and the count will run full 3-2. I don't know that dude. What's his name?
Kyle Foss.
No clue, bro. So a big pitch here from Lewis. Here comes the full count delivery. And that'll be fouled off. So Aiden Evans will live to see another day and keep battling in this count. As this game is approaching 3 hours runtime here, almost 10 p.m. local time. We'll try the 3-2 once again. And that'll be ball 4, so 2 runners will be on base for Jake Gorman. Gorman, not a great night so far with 3 straight Ks. But a great opportunity here to make his night a lot better with 1 runner in scoring position. Lewis will get a sign from Astudillo. And that one outside and high for a strike. Good place right there to throw that one. And that'll be fouled off over the screen and into the softball field, currently getting watered by the sprinklers. We had the sprinkler system come on here really quickly on the baseball field, but luckily that was turned off before that disrupted any action. Yeah. As we do see the third base dugout on that softball field is getting absolutely drenched. 0-2 pitch from Lewis. That one swung on in the left center field. That ball is deep. Cairo Stoss will be tracking over to that one. Can he get there? He can, and runner will be advancing. Both runners will be advancing, as that is a good throw. Can he get him? He cannot, as the runner just slides under that tag. So very risky base running from Race City. I guess they're not called Race City for nothing, as they're showed off the wheels right there. So now 2 runners in scoring position. And that was some good heads-up base running. We've seen that from both sides. So early in the game, Jaden Hackbarth stealing home, and then Race City a couple times with runners on the corners deciding to get into a pickle, and both times it worked out in their favor. That's 2 of their 4 runs tonight coming from pickles. That one is lined out to right field. Will that ball drop? No, it will. No, it will not. Oh, no, it will drop as 2 runs will score, as that is a error from the right fielder, James Oman, as looked like a routine fly ball, and he was just a little too nonchalant with that one, and 2 runners will score. So now Race City only down in this ball game by 4 here, as that changes the complexion of this ball game completely, as a 4-run ball game really isn't that much when you're looking at it. So Race City with 4 outs to play with and only down by 4 now. That one high and outside for a ball. That's just what a big turning point. If we look at this game and Race City wins that game, I think feel like that's the moment that we're going to look back at and be like, man, what could have happened? But still, a lot of baseball to be played. 4 outs is, you can do a lot with that. As Thad Lewis will fire back over there, and runner will get in safely. As I don't imagine any more activity in that late room of bullpen. They've already used up Thad Lewis tonight, and Thad Lewis has been a reliable arm so far in the season with that 3.21 ERA. So a great year so far for in his Lake Norman campaign, as that one runs high and towards the head of the batter. As that is fouled off over to the screen, and that will hit the roof of the press box. Had to take cover right there. So Lewis will get the strike call right there. 2-1 count. That one a swing and a miss. And a called strike. And just an update for everybody. We will have the pitcher the pitcher from earlier in the game, Jacob Shaw, number 20, will be on the broadcast. Him and David Katzenmeyer will be doing a little interview there in the bottom of the 8th inning. And that'll be strike 3. So Jacob Shaw gets out of that jam. Allowed 2 runs, but just a fielding mistake from James Oman. But Lake Norman still with a 4-run lead. They'll have one more time to hit, and then Race City has 3 outs to play with. Stick with us for some more SCBL baseball.
Welcome back as Wilson Lore digs in. As the Copperheads lead is fallen to only 4 as the Bootleggers picked up 2 in the top half of the frame. First pitch Lore sees is a fastball that flies by him, 0-1. We'll have a special in-game interview here in just a moment with our starting pitcher, Jake Shaw, for the Copperheads, who went 10 strikeouts through 6 innings and no runs. So he had a fantastic night. So we'll ask him kind of what went through his mind, and if you guys have any questions for the right-handed slinger, please drop them in the chat on YouTube. We will be keeping it updated. As the 1-2 here is just a bit too far down low, so the count evens up at 2-2, and we welcome Jacob Shaw into the booth. So, Jacob, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Just got done throwing there and just relaxing now.
Well, you got to talk me through your mindset going through those 6 innings with 10 strikeouts and no earned runs, as we see lower strikeout there, and that'll be 1 away in the inning. But, yeah, 10 strikeouts, no hits allowed. I mean, talk me through what you were kind of thinking here going on the mound.
I mean, I just had the mindset of going up there throwing strikes, and that's what I came out and did. And you see the results. Got 10 strikeouts, no earned runs, so I did the job.
Well, it was one of the things we were kind of up here in the booth, and we were watching your performance, and the score kind of just was ticking up for the Bootleggers, but there was still a 0 column over to the right of the scoreboard. And every inning we were just kind of like is it going to give up at all, or what's going to happen? Is anything going to happen? And you just stayed persistent, especially as the game went on. The strikeouts picked up, and then Barger let up a 2-run hit, which broke up the no-no in the 7th. But were you kind of thinking about that at all when you were up there thinking about how there were no hits on the board? Or
No, not at all. It's not really what I think about when I go up there to pitch. I go up there to face the batter that's in the box.
So one batter at a time, basically.
Exactly.
The 1-1 here laid off as Jaden Hackbarth digs in for the Copperheads. So how was the energy down in the dugout as you kept rolling, especially when you started to find your zone around the 3rd inning and you just kind of started to feel a little bit more? Talk to me how, like, the energy in the dugout, does that keep you going? How does that affect you?
The energy, I mean, it's great. Everyone's out there supporting each other, and it's a good environment. I mean, we had 4 runs early, and then we kind of got quiet for a little bit, but then we picked the bats back up, and we're back where we are now.
2-2 on Hackbarth here as he fires one into the screen down the first base line. Count still stays even at 2-2. So we were on the bus ride home from Lynchburg after the showcase, and manager Stevens, as well as a couple of the staff, were talking through the roster today. And with what they were saying about this game, they were trying to figure starting pitching, and it was a no-doubter. You were going to be on the mound tonight. They didn't have any questions. They didn't have any deterring factors that you were going to be pitching tonight. And how does that confidence from your pitching or your coaching staff kind of having faith in you to go out and get it done? Although it's a non-conference game, but how does that affect you and your mentality, knowing that they have a lot of confidence in you to go out and get the job done against a good Bootleggers team?
I mean, it's great to know that my coaches have confidence in me. I mean, it's something I don't really think about too much, but knowing that they want me to go out there and start as a reliever, it's a pretty good feeling. And to go out there 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, no earned runs, I mean, it's only getting higher from here.
So talk me through some of your pitch selection that you like to throw, kind of how you work an at-bat.
Normally I try to start off the game with a lot of fastballs, see where the hitters are, and adjust when I need to. I throw a lot of sliders, and I'll throw a curve every once in a while.
So how does, when you're facing an at-bat, does your pitch selection kind of change as the at-bat goes on? So if you find yourself in a 2-0 count, like what do you kind of roll to then? What's your kind of go-to pitch that you know can get you back in a bad situation?
I can always go with my slider. That's a great option. My fastball's great, and if I have my changeup that day, I can throw the changeup, and it works just as well.
It's good to hear as Hackbarth has been hacking them back and forth, finding a way to stay in this at-bat. 1 away in the inning, full count pitch. On the way, as it's going to be a called strike 3 for the second out of the inning. So What's been kind of your favorite thing about being on this Lake Norman Copperheads team so far and just playing in the SCBL?
I mean, the coaching staff's great. The team's great. Everyone gets along real well. It's a lot of fun to play here, and that's what summer ball is all about, is having fun, but while getting your work in. And I'm doing both right now. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I was down in the dugout for half of a frame, and it just seems like everyone down there is just having so much fun. They're just enjoying their time.
Absolutely.
Is there anything that you kind of like about staying here in the Charlotte area?
It's a nice area. I'm pretty new to it. I've never been down here. I like the area. There's a lot of cool things to do. And when I have my off time, I go out and do things.
So where is Bryan and Stratton located? Is that how you say it?
Yes, Bryan and Stratton. I was at the Bryan and Stratton in Ohio. It was about 30 minutes outside of Cleveland in a small town called Solon.
Okay. How did you enjoy it up there?
It was great, and same thing, another great experience for 2 years, and I'm looking forward to going to Keystone next year and trying out PA.
It's very good to hear. Our new batter, Dario Astudillo, finds himself in a 1-2 count with 2 away. And that one misses outside, evens up at 2-2. Well, I'll leave it with one more thing for you, just a bit of an arbitrary question. So I know the boys were down there talking about kind of their favorite place to go pregame. After you pick up a big win, where's your favorite place to stop by after the game?
Oh, it's been Cookout down here, 100%. Always a big Cookout fan.
Yeah, what's your go-to order?
Normally I go with a burger, and I switch up my sides,
Okay.
but it's normally quesadilla and some fries.
Okay, that's a very, very good choice. Well, thank you so much, Jacob, for joining us here on the broadcast. And once again, congratulations on an absolutely fantastic outing here tonight. Hopefully see you on the mound a little bit more. Maybe they'll put you in a starting role. But thank you so much for joining us. And
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.
Thad Lewis is back out for the top of the ninth as he looks to go ahead and close this one up for the Lake Norman Copperheads. Stepping up to the plate for the Bootleggers is the second baseman, Landon Reeves. Reeves so far tonight has had a walk and a pop-out, as well as a ground out, as we see the sprinklers in left field come on once again. And this time it looks like we might have a little, no, looks like we might just get to play here with the sprinklers rolling. And
cool you down, man.
And as Thad tries to deliver a pitch here, we see time called. I'm not sure. I thought it was time because of the sprinklers, but
Wilson Lawhurst is having a nice little shower out there in left.
oh, Lower's already to work here. They're still 3 away, buddy. First pitch from Lewis is a called strike. Dario Astudillo back behind the plate for the Copperheads.
And just a great performance tonight from the Copperheads, top to bottom. The offense putting up double-digit runs, and then like you were talking, earlier in the inning, Jacob Shaw with a great outing as we see more sprinklers come on. And
the 1-1 big swing and a miss from the shortstop Reeves, and Lower's just maneuvering around the sprinklers at the moment.
that's gonna be great when he's looking for a fly ball and a sprinkler hits him in the face.
Well, he's hoping that if Thad gets the job done, he won't have a ball flying his way, as that ball got perfectly caught in the screen.
I think that went into the tube there. That went into the tube. I'm like 99% sure.
In all my years of broadcasting here, I've never seen that one. The 1-2, high and out of the zone, count up to 2-2.
There's nowhere else it could have gone.
I think it's caught in the screen right there, just barely peeking out.
That would have been a lot cooler if it went in there.
Either way, still very impressive to have a baseball sit there, as the 2-2 is grounded towards the Bootleggers dugout. So we will reset and try it once again. Copperheads leading by 4 as they hope to keep the 10-6 lead where it stands. The Bootleggers, however, looking to strike here. The 2-2. And that one's just a bit high.
That was coming to us right there.
They needed an Astudillo on top of an Astudillo for that one. So the count runs full. 3-2 pitch. Lewis looks in. He'll kick and deliver, and that one's high and inside. Ball 4, and emphatically throwing the bat back over to the dugout is Reeves. So that brings up the center fielder, Dallas Allen. Allen has an RBI off a sacrifice fly, a walk and a hit by pitch in his appearances to the plate.
Copperheads have to be careful here. So with a healthy lead of 4 runs, but can't get over relaxed. And Ray City puts 1-2 runs up on the board and a couple runners in scoring position. We have a very competitive ball game.
The 1-0 from Lewis. He looks in and delivers to Astudillo, and that one is high and out of the zone. So now the count moves to 2-0.
Yeah, we see Astudillo just go up there and check with his pitcher. Thad Lewis had a really good last inning, but just trying to get settled in here.
Make sure to join us here on Saturday night as we will bring you all the action between the Vipers and the Copperheads. That game getting started here at Cox Mill High School around 7 o'clock, so we will be back to some SCBL action as the second half of the season gets underway. 2-0 from Lewis. That's a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Very nice location with the 2-seam fastball.
Yeah, I won't be here that Saturday night, but I'll be hopefully tuning in if I don't have anything else going on that Saturday, as long as everybody else, and maybe even drop a comment in the chat. That'd be groundbreaking.
Zane's leaving us for the beach, unfortunately. So
gotta make big life decisions sometimes.
I'll be riding solo.
Yeah.
So.
What about Reese, man?
Hey, no. Reese will be here. Reese will be here. He's a little mic shy sometimes, though.
When Reese gets in a groove, though, he's good. I feel like last game he found his voice more.
Swing and a miss on the big 3-1 pitch.
That comes with running the scoreboard. I was trying to do that last game in the top of the ninth, and I was so focused on that thing, and I was like watching the game through the little camera on the computer.
Oh, I know. It's the only way you can do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to bring the highest quality content we can here.
That scoreboard just elevates the content so much, makes it so much easier on the viewer to keep track with us, and don't have to keep updating. Just have that handy thing in the left-hand corner of the box.
Full count pitch misses outside, so now the Bootleggers with 2 on and nobody out here. No activity in the Copperhead bullpen. So they have faith in their man Lewis with a 4-run lead. 10-6, the Copperheads are up.
Yeah, that scoreboard might be something I need to add to my high school football broadcast. That shameless promo right there.
Number 25, the first baseman, Blake Haller, swings through a fastball, as that's the first pitch he's seen from Lewis tonight. It'll get the count started at 0-1. Checking the runner back at second, giving a couple looks is Lewis, or he'll deliver towards home. Nice breaking pitch, as that had some fantastic movement on it, as it looked to fool Blake Haller. As he almost was getting ready to step out of the box thinking that was going to be a ball, and it just drops perfectly into the glove of Astudillo across the plate. The 0-2 is put on the ground but foul. Zambrano was running over to collect it, but no need. Count will remain at 0-2. But once again, stay tuned for all of the information about Saturday night's game on the SCBL Instagram and Twitter page, as well as to keep up with all the action around the league and the Copperheads when they are on the road. Big fight here from Haller, as it's 3 or 4 pitches now sitting on 0-2.
Yeah, the Copperheads will be playing the Vipers in that one. They split the season series so far 1-1. That first game that they played was a 10-inning thriller where we saw the Copperheads catcher, Jake Koneski, fire that bomb over the center field wall on the top of the 10th.
Down low, bouncing in front of the plate. So the first ball of the at-bat is taken by Haller. So the lefty looking to put one in play for his guys standing on second and first. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. A big strikeout for Thad Lewis to get the second out of the inning. And the Bootleggers are down to their 27th out. First out, excuse me.
Dave wants to get home.
Clay was so fast with the scoreboard there that I thought there was already one away.
He is on it tonight, man.
He is on. I'm not used to having our actual in-game scoreboard be so updated. Actually got fooled by the fact that it was.
Shots fired. I love it right there.
And a quick throw back to first from Astudillo, as there goes our camera. We were hoping it would last it out, but unfortunately it won't. So
I feel like any inning that camera is like just on on its deathbed, the team that's up to bat decides to get 2 or 3 runners on.
So Lewis working with runners on first and second, only one away in the inning. The 1-0 home. Fastball just a bit too low. Count now moves to 2-0. Reeves standing on second. Allen standing over on first. The delivery home is a called strike. Count now moves to 2-1. That pitch nestled nicely on the outer half of the plate. So now Lewis looking to work his way back into this count. He'll look home. Now the kick and the delivery. Nice frame job from Astudillo as he picks one up off the dirt and puts it in the zone. As the count now evens up at 2-2. Working out of the stretch, Lewis checking on Reeves back at second. Now he'll kick home a high fastball. Has Brower jump out of the box. Excuse me, Willis. Justin Willis, our batter at the moment. He subbed out Brower. So Willis had to jump out of the box away from a fastball. That loads the count. Big nod from Lewis as he likes the pitch that Astudillo has given him. Check back at second, now firing home, and it's a foul ball off the hands and off the screen down the first base line.
We've seen a lot of those tonight just slip through that little crack in the screen. That's probably the 4th or 5th time.
It's an interesting screen setup here at Cox Mill, as there's the big wooden poles holding up the long screens and then some small metal poles holding up a screen right behind home plate. The 3-2 again is a swing and a miss, and that will be the second out as Justin Willis finds the same fate as Blake Haller, back-to-back strikeouts for Thad Lewis, as now down to their last out are the Bootleggers.
Bootleggers have shown some fight tonight, but down to their last out and on their last life right now.
Right fielder Michael Carroll digs in. The lead-off batter in today's game in the one hole. It's a 2 walks and a strikeout as Lewis delivers the 1-0. Check swing. And it will be a called strike. So stick showing on the scoreboard. 2 away here with 2 on. Thad Lewis trying to get through 2 full innings, as that is another called strike. And now the Bootleggers down to their last one. Lewis looks. Astudillo gives him the sign. The pitch, and that's going to be a base hit through the gap, as the throw home will not be in time. Runner will advance to third. And advancing over to second base on the throw is Michael Carroll. So now the left fielder Hunter Sherrill up with 2 runners in scoring position as he represents the tying run for the Race City Bootleggers. 10-7 your score. Copperheads up by a field goal. As first pitch to Sherrill is fouled against the screen, 0-1. The 0-1 from Lewis. That one's going to be put into play. Under it and making the catch will be the second baseman, Zach Will, and that will end the game. The Lake Norman Copperheads come out victorious 10-7 against the Race City Bootleggers. 10:23 is the final local time that we wrap up here. 3 hours and 23 minutes to get this one in the books. Our player of the game going to Jacob Shaw with 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, and no hits allowed on 2 earned runs. A fantastic night for our starting pitcher for the Lake Norman Copperheads. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, as it has been a fantastic night here at Cox Mill High School in Concord, North Carolina. As for myself, David Katzenmeyer, and Zane Metz, as well as Reese, Clay, and the rest of the crew that have been helping out behind the scenes, we thank you so much for joining us here as we are signing off from Cox Mill High School. We'll see you on Saturday for the Copperheads against the Vipers at 7 p.m. Have a fantastic night, everybody.